recording, so hello everyone on YouTube. I guess to give my my brief thoughts on the Tropic Crisis project content pack community update thing that's been floating around. For those of you that weren't here, for those of you that were here a couple days ago and I looked over everything, again, the VOD is destroyed because of copyright and I can't do anything about it. So, general thoughts on that update. I'll go ahead and swap over to my desktop. Oh, hello? There we are. So, just to give my my general thoughts on that. Music? Hello? Don't want that to be too loud. A little louder. A little quieter. About right there seems good. That should be okay. Yeah, so my general thoughts on the Tropic update is so I'll say again, I really respect the amount of time and effort that went into creating a community project of this scope and scale. You can tell there was some genuine effort put into it, and it was a neat concept, it's a neat idea, but two things. First, Valve doesn't accept community updates anymore because the community shot themselves in the foot by, thanks to a handful of greedy motherfuckers that tried to take the lion's share of revenue profits for themselves. So Valve doesn't accept those kinds of updates anymore, and I've been seeing a lot of clickbait videos and things floating around like, oh, we need this update, or this is potentially coming to the game. No, it's not. It's never going to be added. This will never be added as an official update into Team Fortress 2 because Valve simply does not do this kind of content anymore. There's nothing that can be done, unfortunately. So ultimately, if Valve were to take anything from this, it would be piecewise. Eric Smith would probably glance over a few things and just kind of pick and choose certain things. I don't know. But beyond that, it's not going to be added to the game in any capacity. Second thing is that because this project was semi-open public in nature, technically anyone could join in on the project so long as they were adhering to the theme. It's a mixed bag. The quality is very much all over the place. There were some really good cosmetics, a couple of really good war paints, and a couple of good hats and what have you, but also a lot of really, really bad or poorly modeled or poorly thought out or just genuine garbage that got lumped into this update. And I understand, being open and allowing people to come in and contribute, but I feel like if you're going to organize a project like this, you have to do a little bit of vetting for quality control to make sure it's going to be the cream of the crop, the best of the best, and if you're going to present that as a tight-knit package, as a hypothetical update, then ideally you want it to all be really good, and you don't want to throw something in there that's a little shitty cartoon snake on the soldier's shoulder, or a capybara on people's heads, because those are garbage and no one uses those. You want things that are stylistically and thematically appropriate for TF2 and are of genuine quality. Things that are well modeled, things that are well textured, and things that just look good. And there was a lot of stuff in there that did not look good, or was just of amateur quality. And it's just unfortunate, because I feel like, again, they could have curated things a little bit better, and it would have made for a much more tight-knit, well-encapsulated update package. And as a result, it just wasn't that good. And I poked around on a few of the maps. They're pretty bad. So Patagonia at least looks like TF2, and then the King of the Hill one with the helicopter is okay, but the rest of them just do not look like TF2 content. I can quickly pull up the Tropic Thunder. I'll pull up the Tropic Thunder update page, hold on. I keep calling it Tropic Thunder because it's funny. TF2 Tropic Crisis. So I can briefly give my thoughts on the maps now that I've had a chance to look at them myself. So, for example, Embargo, tell me right now, ladies and gentlemen, what about this looks like TF2? It doesn't. If you covered everything around this, if you were told that this is not a TF2 asset, this doesn't look like it belongs in Team Fortress 2 at all. This map also plays really, really bad. The balancing on this is terrible. It's got some really horrible chokes, a couple of areas that are way too wide open. This is just not TF2. I appreciate all the work that went into it. In some area, it looks cool, but it's just not appropriate for TF2, in my opinion. So, what else was there? Favela. Was this the helicopter one? No, this is a capture the flag one. See, looking at this one, this map doesn't even look finished. The geometry is way too underbaked. Everything, the texture work is rather poor. This looks like something that someone threw together in a very short period of time. It's not very good. None of the 1,500 people that voted on it played it. No, yeah, so Zyth, here's the thing. Zyth, you bring up a very good point. So, I don't know how many of you watched my recent video on my main channel where I show that, surprise, surprise, a majority of TF2's player count is bots. But that just kind of reinforces that, like, an overwhelming percentage of the discourse surrounding TF2 comes from people that don't play the game. These are people that are familiar with TF2, that are enamored by the characters, that are enamored by, you know, the environments and what TF2 is, but they don't actually play the game. So they don't really have a deeper appreciation or a deeper understanding of the tones, the themes, the stylization, and even the gameplay elements, right? And so if someone who only talks about the game but never plays the game is shown this really pretty thing, of course they're going to think to themselves, oh yeah, it's fantastic, this is really cool, why not put this in TF2? But then for people who actually play the game, they can immediately recognize why something like this is not appropriate for a final product, right? And so, again, it just kind of reinforces that a lot of the discourse surrounding TF2 is coming from people that don't actually play the game. And my video just reinforces that heavily, that a lot of what you see on Twitter, a lot of what you see on Reddit, like you see Twitter posts talking about like a kitten head for Pyro or like the femboy outfit for Scout getting tens and thousands of likes and retweets. All of that shit is coming from people that do not play Team Fortress 2, right? And I feel like people need to be reminded of that when they see an item getting popular. It's only getting popular because it's being voted on by people that don't actually engage with the game itself. In reality, only 30,000 people play this game. Not that many people touch this game on, let's say, a daily or a weekly basis, right? And not to mention people who've been playing this game for a long time, right? And have a deeper understanding of how the game is supposed to play, or the game needs to play, and what have you, right? Not saying I'm the authority, I'm just having a general statement here, right? So, yeah, so it was a good point to bring up, Zyth, I appreciate that. Yeah, Kachuria, I don't know how to say this one. This map's okay. This map plays decently well. A couple of the areas don't look like TF2, but I can at least look at this, and this kind of goes, okay, yeah, this is at least loosely TF2 for the most part. Looking around, like, especially like the spawn rooms, oh yeah, like the spawn rooms scream classic TF2. It plays okay, it's not great, but this one at least looks like a TF2 map. So I give some props to this one. Patagonia as well, at least also looks like a TF2 map. Unfortunately, it's really, really, really underbaked, in my opinion. But it's okay. It is, as the kids say, mid. It has some really huge open areas, and like this uphill push is raw AIDS. God. But it at least looks like a TF2 map. So, I can at least give it that much. And then we have Salvador, which, what about this is Team Fortress 2? Like once again, what about this is TF2 related at all? This looks nothing like the game. You know? How does it feel knowing that at least 300 people said they would to my OC on Pyrocynical's stream? I think it's funny. Hope you're doing well. Thanks, man. Hope you are too. Embargo looks like a trade embargo V11, to be honest. Yeah, I know. I mean, these don't look like TF2 maps. Like, none of these screenshots... Like, this is... Like... Hello? TF2? What happened, man? And not to mention... So, one thing that this map really irks... Like, something about this map that strongly irks me, right? Is when you're playing on the map, generally speaking, at a glance, you want to be able to know where you are in terms of, am I in enemy territory or am I in friendly territory? And when you have a map that's split down the middle, like let's say 5CP or King of the Hill, you want to be able to look anywhere on the map and immediately know, oh, am I on the red side or am I on the blue side? And when you have a lot of visual noise being thrown on the map like this, a lot of different colors, a bunch of geometry that's neutrally toned, it's very hard to tell where someone is. And one of the more methodical and intentional parts of TF2's design, especially when it comes to map design, is reminding people of where they are. And a lot of these maps either don't do this at all, or they do a very poor job. And this one does a very poor job on that. So that's another critique on some of these maps. And it just doesn't look or feel like TF2. And to me, it's rather unfortunate. So, anyways, that's my general thoughts on the Tropic Thunder, Tropic Crisis update. I mean, again, it's cool to see this level of effort put into content for the game, but I feel like a lot of the people who make content for the game don't actually play the game, or they don't really care to make something appropriate for the game. They just want to make something and then be recognized for adding something to the game. That's what I was having this conversation the other day with somebody, where a lot of the people who make content for TF2 don't really care about the game, or they might at some level. I shouldn't write them off entirely, but they don't care about making good content. They care about making content and then having that accepted and being recognized for it, right? Not saying it about the guys that did the Tropic Thunder update, right? Or the Tropic Thunder content pack, what have you. Some people in here did, clearly. You can, I know the names, I see them. But people, oh, I forgot there's Overgrown as well. Fucking Crash really wants this map in the game, and I've played on this map before. It plays like raw dick. It is horrible. It looks not... you have some elements of TF2 thrown in here, but it's a really bad map. It plays awful. It is not fun. I don't think I've ever had a satisfying round on this map. This should not be in the game. It plays terrible. Terrible map. Ugh. God. Anyway, now that's all the maps. Also creepy Uncanny Scout. I'm sure this is gonna happen. It's like someone's gonna bring this up at some point later on in the stream, I'm sure, because I'm sure. So how many of you have seen the gun game maps that have been floating around? Yeah, 29,000 ratings, right? Like, how many ratings does this have? Can I see how many ratings this has? I'm curious. Yeah, so there's 1,000 ratings on this. I really doubt that all of these ratings came from people who played the map. And in fact, that's like a lot of the things you see on the workshop is people who don't actually play the maps, but they vote on them because they look pretty. And all a map needs is pretty thumbnails, and that's all it needs to get selected, which is unfortunate. But yeah, so some of you have or have not seen Gun Game. So if I go to the workshop right now, we'll probably see one or two of these floating around. Yeah, here we go. Gun Game. Yeah, people. God, I think it really goes without saying, and I said this the last time I streamed. I'll just do the blanket statement about Gun Game because I know people are gonna send me these maps and what have you. Gun Game should not be in Team Fortress 2. For very obvious reasons. Because Gun Game completely strips away everything that is TF2. There are no teams. There are no mercenaries. And as someone brought up in a comment on one of these maps, I'm going to do a very poor job at paraphrasing this, but Gun Game is not a Team Fortress 2 game mode. Because what is a Team Fortress 2 game mode? A TF2 game mode is one where the objective is not skill-based. A capture point, a payload cart, capture the flag, even something like player destruction. Players can still pick up a soul and then deposit it, right? The reason for that is because TF2 is designed to be as appealing to everybody as possible, with the widest range of skill levels as possible, terrible at the game or amazing at the game, to make it so everyone can feel like they're contributing towards the game itself, right? And this also applies for pastime, because you have the Jack. You don't need to kill. You don't need to. The Jack is just an object you interact with. You can move it around the map without having to interact with any other players. You can contribute, right? And TF2 is very specifically designed this way, so anyone of any skill level can feel like they're interacting and contributing towards the game. It's also why TF2 has 9 classes, with varying abilities and what have you, and different degrees of engagement with the game. Because, again, it's designed for anyone to have something to do with their desired level of engagement, right? Engineer being a lower end of engagement where the game is literally playing itself for you, or something far more involved like the Spy, right? You have a wide range of things you can engage with. Gun Game completely strips all of that out of the game, to the point where it's no longer TF2. And the way you progress in Gun Game is only raw skill, by killing other people and having the better weapon, right? That fundamentally is antithetical to TF2's design and should not be in the game. Period. Even something like Zombie Infection and versus Saxton Hale, eventually a capture point opens up, and you can cap that without having to kill people or fight Saxton and what have you, right? So even those game modes loosely abide by what's required for a TF2 game mode, where Gun Game simply does not. So again, fundamentally, based on that alone, it should not be inside of Team Fortress 2. But then we have the other problem with Valve treating not only maps, but also game modes like hats. You cannot treat the gameplay like a hat, especially one that has custom balancing, custom assets, what have you. It needs a certain degree, even a bare minimum degree of maintenance, just to really hammer out the problems that are inevitably going to come once it's released to the wider public. We saw this with Versus Saxton Hale, we saw this with Zombie Infection, where upon release, they were either a shitty bug-filled mess, or there were still a lot of kinks that needed to be hammered out. But because these updates are only treated the proper way for the opening couple of weeks after an update gets pushed out, and then they get abandoned, because workshoppers then move on to the next update cycle and start working on new maps or new game modes to crank out for the next update. And so every new game mode we get is going to be completely abandoned, regardless of the quality and regardless of the state that it's in. And we're seeing this happen over and over again. We saw it with Versus Saxton Hale, we saw it with Zombie Infection, and if and whatever game mode that we get for summer, it is going to happen again. And so we do not need more of these uncurated, unpolished game modes being just vomited into TF2 that people are going to engage with in the short term. Like, yeah, sure, it's a fun novelty, right? And once they have their fill for 20 minutes, they're going to fuck off and go back to the regular game, and these are going to be relegated to the, arbitrary miscellaneous tab and then never touched again. So ultimately, my point, if you want to play gun game, just go play Open Fortress. Open Fortress is infinitely, because I tested this out. I played for a few minutes. It sucks. Like, it functions, right? It works. It sets out to work as a gun game mode, and it does that. But it is not good. It functions way better in Open Fortress. If you want to play gun game, just go do that. Or go play Call of Duty. Or go play something else that is not already like the pre-established game with another game thrown in on top of it. And my fear, to kind of close this argument out, my fear is that as we keep having more game modes being thrown in, what's going to happen is that TF2 is going to be turned into a game that tries to do too many things poorly, and not the thing it's already good at really well. And it's going to keep diluting the original experience that TF2 set out to be and should remain for the sake of appealing to people who are not interested in playing the true game in the first place. And so we don't need more game modes like this. Simply make good TF2 maps that fit the fundamentals of TF2 gameplay. And if you do that, you're going to make people very happy, because people come to TF2 to play TF2. We don't come to play gun game, we don't come to play prop hunt. We come to play TF2, where we play as one of the 9 mercenaries and fight against each other in 2 teams. If you meet those bare minimum criteria, fuck off all other gameplay elements, right? If you meet those 2 bare minimum criteria, keep the mercs, keep the teams, you're already better than this. Anyway, rant over. So, on to the workshop shit. Are y'all ready? Oh, I missed a donation, my bad. I'm Brazilian, and I don't even like all this cultural glazing these workshop creators are doing. All of these are just COD maps. I mean, I don't disagree with you that it's all Call of Duty maps. I wholeheartedly agree that they don't look like TF2. They look like they belong in some other game. Do you think this will kill Open Fortress? Absolutely not. Open Fortress is already not exactly populated, and then if this was... And here's the thing, if this was put in the game, people are going to enjoy it, and then they're going to fuck off and go back to the normal game, and the people who genuinely enjoy the gun game experience are just going to go back to where it's handled better, and they're going to go play on Open Fortress. Simple as that. Stop yapping. Why are you here? If you're going to complain about what I'm doing on my stream, why are you here? I had this conversation last time of people going out of their way and watching something they get angry at, and then complaining about it to the streamer. Like, just leave. You're here of your own will. I'm not forcing you. I'm not prying your eyeballs open. It's kind of sad. Again, it's sad. Like, again, I want to help these people. Like, so let me help you out. You don't need to be here. Like, there's no test. There's no exam at the end of this. Like, you're not going to be quizzed. You're not getting a degree, right? It's like you're not being forced to sit in a chair, eyeballs pressed against the screen, and to listen to me. You can leave if you want, right? You don't like what I have to say, then don't listen. Plug your ears and go la 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 la. Whatever. Anyway. There's a lot of schizos in my chat today. I feel like I've attracted a lot of negative attention because of the bot video I put out. It's very odd. Just a lot of just very, very sad and somewhat sociopathic people. I don't really get it. Really? Are you gonna do this already? We're 20 minutes in, and you're already causing a problem for me. What are you fucking? She just has to come right in here, man. She just gotta come right in. All right, well we'll do cat cam. There we go. Speaking of your OC, I saw art the other day from Omega Strikers, and yeah, Asher from Omega Strikers does indeed look very, very similar to my OC, and my character has been around longer than she has. Someone was inspired by something. It's a joke. I'm not saying they stole my character's design. It's just a funny thing. Anyway, so, workshop time. So for those of you unfamiliar with how this works, every month I do a stream where I review content from the workshop that the viewers send in. So if you guys want to send me something to look at, what you need to do is join the Discord in the link in the description below. Join that Discord and send me links to workshop items. You can send me hats, you can send me cosmetics of any kind, skins, unusual effects, taunts. Just don't send me maps, because I cannot review maps on stream. I will say this again, do not send me maps, because I cannot review maps on stream, and yet every time, without fail, people send me maps. And I'll say one more time that my previous stream VOD got absolutely destroyed by copyrighted music because I was not paying attention to my Spotify. Only ended up being able to salvage like 30 minutes of the entire 3 hours without it getting globally banned. So unfortunately that is now lost media, as some people were pointing out earlier. So please don't send maps, and if you're inside of that Discord, so just get that ball rolling, my friends. You can remove all your music from your stream using UVR5 Ultimate Vocal Remover. You can upload the VOD whole vid there, and then it will generate an audio file with no music. Took me a few minutes to process when you stream, so if you send me your vid, I'll remove the music. Oh shit, okay. Yeah, Pam, I will do that, for sure. So cool. Seems like we have a solution to remove music from the background. I didn't even realize that that kind of technology existed and actually worked. Alright, so... Also, I should clarify, post it in the workshop links channel. Also, one more rule. Please post one link. Only post one link. If you post more than one link, I will ignore your message. Only post one. Because I want to get to as many people's links as possible. And it's not fair if you spam like 30, alright? So post one link. So get your singular link ready, and then I will open up the channel for people to post things. Alright, get your link ready. Get your link ready, and then I'll open it in a few seconds. Alright? Go. Oh my fucking god. Alright, and I will also do them in chronological order. I'll do them in chronological order. What do I think about the Metal Saxton VSH maps? We don't need more of them. We don't need more because they've introduced yet another slightly different balance variant of versus Saxton Hail. We don't need more of it. Simple as. Okay, so again, for anyone who wants the TLDR of my previous stream, you'll just have to go back and watch this VOD once I upload it because I just finished talking about all of that, and we can go ahead and get started. So let's just start opening up a bunch of links. Have this window activated. And I'll just get us started with as many as my memory can handle. Get a few more. That is a YouTube channel. Why'd you send me a link to my own channel? Like, you wasted your one message as a link to my channel. This guy hit V instead of Control V. Oh no, not like this. Go back and edit your message. You can correct your mistake. It's okay. You can fix these things. Not like this. All right. Free. It's a free. Oh yeah, it's a free ad from my channel. As if people weren't already here watching me. Hello. Hey, yeah, it is me. Like, be sure to like and subscribe. If you like my channel, be sure to like. I always feel bad asking people to like, you know, hey, like and subscribe. I hate that shit. I don't know. It's like I feel like people are gonna do that anyways if they genuinely like what you're doing. So if you have to like either compel or guilt trip people into liking your stream or liking your video or subscribing, then it's like they probably weren't that into you in the first place. So that's just me. Ultimately, it's like I feel like it makes people feel stupid, you know? It's like, be sure to like and subscribe. If they really wanted to, they would have already done that. Anywho, Zen Plated Warpaint, an updated version. I think this looks really fucking good. So what we seem to have here is just a team-colored version of Damascus Mahogany. I really like the leather grip you have going on here. So the previous version of this did not have a tertiary. It didn't have this black element on here, and oh man, now that it's there, it looks really, really good. Not bad on higher wares either. Not bad with higher wares either. I do like this a lot. This is actually really good. You know, a good, simple, clean skin. I think it's pretty good. Skins are all shit. You are objectively incorrect. You're just objectively wrong. There are some skins, not all skins, but some skins in TF2 are really good. So yeah, I vote. I genuinely see nothing wrong with this. This is a really nice skin. I vote yes, and I vote favorite. Just, oh, you, Zesty just bullied this workshopper. He just bullied this man. Oh, he liked his item? He favorited the item? Fucking evil man. You bullied this man! Destroy him! Anyway. So-destructive. Okay, so-destructive. Get it? Get it like so destructive, so destructive. Ah, clever. So destructive. I feel like you probably should have tried a different map for your screenshots. The lighting in here is not really doing it justice, because these promos look pretty good, but the lighting on this map makes it look a lot darker than it actually is, and probably a bit more saturated than it actually is. It's not bad. It's another simple kind of clean skin, you know, simple, clean, good metallic look to it. They put the cracky pop look. What'd you do for blue? Oh, he did. Oh, just like a cracky pop version. You have a red and blue for each one. It's the cracky pop soda. Didn't realize Pyro watched your shiz on stream. It's cool. It is cool. It is neat. I'm happy about that. Like, someone like scolded me. Like, you aren't you against reaction content? Not really. If someone has something genuine to contribute or something unique to add to the conversation, then I really have no problem with it. If they're just sitting there not reacting to what's being shown on screen at all, or like their chair is empty, yeah, fuck off, you're just stealing my content. But if you're adding to the conversation, then yeah, sure, it's appreciated. I don't know, I like this one a little bit less than the previous one. I feel like this blue leans, like here it doesn't look like it's leaning over into teal territory, but in this screenshot it looks like it's leaning over into a little bit into teal territory. It's not bad. I feel like it's, I don't know, I think this tertiary is a little too rich. It's not bad on blue. The red is a little deep. Could stand from a bit of desaturation, just a little bit. Not much, just like, you know, like 3 or 4 or 5% in Photoshop might help it. But beyond that, like even as is, if this was added into the game, I would not be offended. It's a cool skin. I like the theming of it. You're referencing one of the pieces of TF2 signage. You know, it's good. It's not bad. You know, it's like a C tier. I dig it. C, maybe like lower B. I'll say yes, but I feel like it's a little too saturated on the tertiary, just a hair. Greenhouse. See, I mean, you effectively made the AK hydroponic, except now it's a war paint. And while I love the way the AK hydroponic looks in CSGO, it's really not a TF2 thing. This doesn't really feel like a TF2 skin at all. And also, it's also themed after a map that is just not TF2's aesthetic at all. It looks cool, but is it really for TF2? Not really. The texture work is fine. I like the pattern. Even the colors are good, but it doesn't feel like it has the right stylization for the game. I'm personally not sold on it. It doesn't feel like a TF2 skin. I feel like if you translated these textures over into CSGO, onto like something other than the AK, then you might have a success there. Getting an isotope version of this skin would be dope. No, yeah, I don't disagree that this looks cool. Like, outside of the context of TF2, this looks like a cool weapon skin for like a video game. But in the context of TF2 and with everything surrounding it, it sticks out like a sore thumb. Like, for example, like another example of a skin that I think looks really cool, but has no business being in TF2, would be something like Spectrum Splattered or Helldriver. They look really cool, but they do not belong in the game. I'll show you in a second, once my game boots up. Wouldn't mind this for TF2, not really. And I have Counter-Strike skins. Well, that's fair. What if it wasn't white for the primary base and was a different color? I don't think the white is the problem. I just think it's the style of said skin. Like, for example, you go to something like Spectrum Splattered, say down here. So, like, this looks really cool. The colors are cool, the pattern is really it's just a really neat thing to look at. But in the context of TF2, this has no business being in the game. It's way too saturated, it's all of the incorrect colors. It just does not belong. It sticks out like a sore thumb, right? You can see this coming from a mile away. It's like, whoa, what's that doing here? Shouldn't be in the game. And the same thing would go for something like Helldriver, if I can scroll down to it fast enough, right? Like Helldriver, it looks really cool. You know, it's this really cool, flashy, it reminds me of Gravedigger, because I loved monster trucks as a kid. It reminds me of Gravedigger, for those familiar. And it looks neat, but it just does not belong in TF2. It's way too saturated. The cartoony style is a bit of a mismatch. It just does not belong. That's what I think about skins like this. A skin can look cool, but it doesn't mean that it belongs in TF2. It's not even so much that it's too modern for the 60s and 70s setting, it's just all the wrong colors. It's just all the wrong design choices. And compared to those two skins, this one isn't nearly as bad, and even if this one was added, it would be way less of an offender than, say, Spectrum Splattered or Helldriver, but I still think this one sticks out like a sore thumb, and I don't think this belongs in the game. It's not a bad skin. Again, it looks really cool, but in the context of TF2, I don't think it belongs. The Runaway Rebel, with like a nice jacket for Scout. I think have I seen this before? I did. So I have seen this before. I don't know. I'll probably say the same thing I said before. It's just another decent Scout cosmetic. I personally see nothing wrong with this. The paint region is reasonably sized, and it's good. Just good. Good shit. Strikeout sleeves. How old is this? This is ancient, dude. What the fuck? So it gives Scout an undershirt. I mean, yeah, sure. I see nothing wrong with this conceptually, and modeling-wise, it looks fine. But then the paint region is a little, I feel like this is an example of a cosmetic that just doesn't need a paint region. It looks totally fine and did not need a paint region. How many freaking Scout shirts? Well, how many freaking Scout hats? Guess how many cosmetics Pyro has, by the way. Guess how many cosmetics the Pyro has. It's something like 400. It's something like 400 cosmetics for Pyro. It's a lot. Pyro has the most cosmetics out of any other class in TF2. You want to guess what class has the least number of cosmetics? I got bored one day and I counted them all myself. Guess what class has the fewest? Everyone's saying Heavy. Okay, now it's like a clean split between Heavy and Spy. It's Spy. Spy has the fewest cosmetics in TF2. He has like 88 or 100, something like that. He has like a third of the amount that Pyro has. So when someone says, "Oh, not another shirt," or "Oh, not another hat," yeah, we already have like 50 for every class, dude. It's just the nature of the game having microtransactions in it for like the past 15 years, and Valve needing to throw in 3 cosmetic packs a year. So yeah, we have bloat. And at this point, you have to really make your cosmetic stand out and be good in order for it to kind of stand out from that bloat. And even something as simple as this is, I think, acceptable. So, but those shirts look the same? Not really. They have all their differences to them. I don't like the paint region. I don't think this one should have a paint region. I'm not greatly offended by it, but I don't think it needs it. I've looked at this one before, I believe. Did I? Maybe I didn't. Ceramic teams. So, reminiscent to the, that new CSGO AK that was just... What's that one called again? The, Heirloom? Not Heirloom. I forget what it's called. There's a new AK in CSGO. Inheritance, that's it. Heirloom Inheritance. I was close. Almost the right word. I feel like white was the wrong choice. I feel like white was the wrong choice. Because when you have a pattern as intricate as this, with a color as rich as red and blue, the contrast with the white is a bit strong. I don't think the white is the right color. I feel like you might... Like the pattern itself is fine. The pattern itself is fine. I mean, yeah, sure, porcelain, but just by nature of there being so much white on this, it's too much. So perhaps you could try a different base? You could try a different base. You could maybe throw in a different colored tertiary that isn't solid white. Maybe something that's like a darker neutral tone, like a gray. Maybe just something to break up just the high volume of white. Invert the colors? You could try inverting the colors, but then I think it would be too much red and blue, respectively. I think the problem is that there's just too much white and not enough of something else to break it up. Like on some weapon models, like for example, the Medigun, where you have a lot more of the pattern breaking up the white, that looks fine. Same on the Detonator. But then I'm looking at the Scattergun, where you have the tertiary being the solid white, it ends up being too much. And then same for the minigun here. Like if this wasn't white, then that would be breaking this up a lot more. So you could experiment with maybe like a darker gray or just something darker that kind of split things up. I think conceptually this could work totally fine, and I love the pattern. The pattern is really cool. But I just think the colors are wrong. Maybe silver? Yeah, maybe like a darker silver could work. Potentially. A thicker pattern? No, I think the pattern is fine. I think the pattern is okay, because we can go to something like, say, Dress to Kill, right? Because, like, this immediately made me think of Dress to Kill, right? Say you go to, I don't know, say the minigun, right? And this one also has intricate patterns on this, right? And it works because it's all the right colors. When you have really strongly contrasting colors with a busy pattern, then it makes for a very noisy and kind of just really loud composition. So it needs some darker element to help balance out just how punchy the white is. So, that's what I think. But overall, it is cool. And also, would I be offended if this was put in the game as is? Probably not. It's already way better than most skins we already have, but I really, really think it needs something to break up the white. In my opinion. This is referencing something, but I don't know what it's referencing. Someone tell me what this is referencing, because I don't understand it. Like, this has to be some Zoomer shit that I don't get. Is this AVGN? This doesn't look like AVGN. I think they missed the mark by a little bit. Yeah, I feel like they missed the mark by a little bit. Something's off. Because I look at this, I don't think AVGN. Yeah, I don't think it's Angry Video Game Nerd, but it just doesn't feel like Angry Video Game Nerd. Too much hair? Yeah, I think it's the hair. It is too much hair, and the problem is because they had to model over the Scout's existing hair. Like, if it was just the glasses and they kind of adjusted his hairline a little bit, then it probably would have succeeded. Yeah, it's probably also Scott the Woz. I know that's a person. I don't know what he does. I've seen photos of this person. It looks more like Scott the Woz than Angry Video Game Nerd. Like, hold on. The glasses are the wrong shape, too. They're more rounded. And the rims are way too thick. The hair's wrong. The shirt is wrong. It falls way short. It falls way short. It's a bit of a miss. Also, the hair looks kind of funky. I don't think it's very good. Ew. Just the cos. It's just gross. Just nothing. There's nothing appealing about this cosmetic at all. I've seen this one floating around before. It's just truly something atrocious. Halloween even like when it comes to Halloween restricted items, you want something that's at least charming. That when you look at it, you don't feel disgusted or disturbed. And right now I feel a little bit violated. It's not, no, it's gross in the worst way possible. It's really, it's gross. That's all I have to say about it. I don't like it. I don't think this should be in the game at all. It's just the level of disturbing I don't think is appropriate. Yeah, normal Reddit user. The ceramic team's war paint looks like Ace Speckled, which I think would be cool. Also, Heirloom was the AKA workshop name. Thanks, man. Just found your channel on Zesty's Pit Discord server. I'm gonna like, subscribe, comment, and share. Appreciate that. You just found it. Funny. Imagine stumbling into my Discord without knowing why it's there. This is just steel brushed. This is effectively steel brushed, but honestly, it's better than steel brushed. The fuck is this? What am I looking at, dude? Can someone explain this to me? I feel like this might be referencing something that I don't understand. What is this? It is epic. Everything is a reference these days, right? I just realized the giant robot soldier holding the market gardener. Yeah, it's a YouTube banner for sure. See, I like this war paint. You know why? Because it does what steel brushed absolutely needed. Because if you go look at steel brushed, you go to, hello? So you go look at steel brushed, and it is a really good skin. The only problem with steel brushed is that it does not have something to break up just the really high amount of silver on certain weapon models. On some it looks fine. On some you get enough of the black, but like say the minigun, for example, that's a little too much. I would have really liked some kind of a tertiary to break up these giant chunks of silver elsewhere on the weapon model. Another example would be the shotgun. Shotgun really needs something else to break it up. It's too much silver. Like, I would have loved it if the slide, or the grip on the slide of the pump, whatever it's called, I would have loved if this was also black or also a different color. But it's just too much silver. Whereas this one does add a tertiary that helps break it up a little bit. And I think that's really good. The only problem is I think they chose the wrong base. I feel like they could have done a different one where you're getting a different color on more of the grips. It's like this lighter gray, which is good. It breaks it up a little bit. I also feel like the black might be a tad too dark, because the contrast between that and the silver is a bit harsh. I think they could lighten up the gray, I should say, desaturate the black a little bit. Feel like it looked with a team color tertiary? Yeah, you're probably right. Like maybe a really, really washed out metallic red or metallic blue could look better on this. Either replace the black with that or this darker gray with that. Could work. Could work. Yes, so a piece of funny competitive TF2 news. They banned the fucking lock and load. Why would you ban the fucking lock and load? Listen. I understand 6v6, right? I like 6v6. They want to play something that isn't TF2. They want to play the 6v6 super strict meta, and anything that deviates from that is just not allowed, right? And what happened is like one or two people just got really good with the lock and load, and instead of just barely adjusting the playstyles or barely tweaking their positioning to compensate for the existence of the objectively weaker primary, they just label it as boring to fight and then they ban it. Like, it just reinforces that these people do not want to play TF2. They only want to play their own safe meta, and anything that barely deviates from that, they don't want to learn how to deal with it. They only want to play their own game, which is fine. I'm not dogging people for doing that, right? The reason why I'm shitting on it is because these were the people that Valve was listening to when they were doing Meet Your Match. When they were doing all of the balancing changes for TF2, these were the people that they were listening to. And that's why we got sweeping nerfs that killed the fun of a lot of weapons. That's why I make fun of the compies. If they only ever existed in their own sphere, and only ever existed playing their own game mode and what have you, fine, because it's not affecting the actual game. But as soon as that started leaking into the game, and Valve was listening to them, it's like, well, now I'm gonna make fun of them. And they banned the fucking lock and load. It's like the second weakest primary option for Demo Man. You have the fucking Iron Bomber and you have stock. You have one more shot, a wider blast radius, which is gonna do way more damage. You have rollers. Nah, fuck it. It's God. Again, all because one guy got a little bit too good and was sending two pipes across mid on process or something, and was two-tapping the medic, who's always so used to going into the same fucking spot, because that's how they play, right? The medic is always used to going into the exact same fucking spot where he cannot be hit by anything, and then lo and behold, one guy swaps to a different weapon that has 5 extra hammer units of distance that now forces him to not stand in that spot. But because he just can't move the fuck out of the way, no, they have to ban the entire thing. It just... Ah! Anyways, a bit of comedy for you. Comedy. I feel like the custom wear does a disservice. I feel like the custom wear does a disservice to this. I like the other textures, though. I think all of these textures are fine. It would also benefit from being team-colored. Swap the blue for, like, a washed-out red. But the really, like, I get the theme, right? Like, it's bile. It's bile, fine. But just the custom wear looks really bad. I feel like you could repurpose this. Because you're 90% of the way there with, like, a cool war paint. But I think the custom wear does it a disservice. I think you could do an oil-themed war paint. I think you could do an oil-themed war paint. Instead of green, have it be like murky, grayish black. Like it's got oil all over it. I think that would look a lot better on these textures. And then you could have it also be team-colored with red and blue on these elements here. Swap out that blue for red for a team-colored variant, and then you can keep the biohazard, or you can swap out the biohazard for, say, I don't know, like the flammable sign or something, right? It's almost there. I just think the green custom wear is really bad, and also the fact there's no team variant on this does this war paint a disservice. I think it really needs a team variant. Because I love the color palette. The color palette's really good. All the colors on this are totally fine. Even like having a green custom wear is good. Just not with these textures. It just does not look, it's not pleasing to the eye. Like if you're gonna do like a bile themed war paint, get rid of the blue. Don't have the blue on here. If you want to keep this strictly themed this way, replace this blue with another neutral color. Perhaps have this be a darker gray, or perhaps have this be a brown, or something, right? But I think when you have this teal washed out blue against this green, it looks really ugly. Keep the yellow, keep the white, replace the blue with something that looks a bit better against this green. Because, like, I'm looking at the green on this part here on the white and the yellow. I think that's fine. But when you start getting it on this blue, also, it looks like... Oh, something else. Replace your blood splatters. Your blood splatters should also be green. Yeah, because that adds a little bit too much noise to this. Yeah, so also change your blood bucket's texture to be green and have that as custom blood like Ghoul Blaster does. And then that'll also help this. See, no, the white is fine. The white is fine because we have another war paint that handles white rather well is Park Pigmented. Park Pigmented. This is about as bright as you want to get when it comes to white on a TF2 texture. If you're any brighter than this, then it's too much. This is as light as you want to go. And it still looks really good. And this one is darker than that in terms of the level of saturation. This is a cool war paint, just gotta adjust your colors a little bit. Just tweak your stuff, just a hair. There's a lot of potential here. It's almost there. Just a few more adjustments and then... Yeah. Again, I'll say one more time, if people want my thoughts on the Tropic Crisis update, go back and watch the beginning of this VOD, and you'll see. Do I FW men? Someone tell me what FW mean. What does FW mean? I feel like I'm not familiar with the Zoomer lingo. Fuck with. Do I fuck with men? No. I am not a homosexual. Nor am I a bisexual. I am entirely heterosexual. I am only attracted to women. Sorry to disappoint. Wow, I'm surprised this hasn't come across my desk yet. Jesus. Holy shit. Well, this is something. Jesus Christ, it's so yellow. Like, you know what's funny? Is the layering of the emojis kind of creates a cool looking texture. Like, it looks kind of like scales. Like, it almost looks like the dragon scales that you see on the Dragon Slayer warpaint. But, no. Just no. Oh, God. This is... there's a rare sticker, apparently. What's the rare sticker? Oh, this one. Just, like, how can you even differentiate that from everything else on this texture? It looks like pineapple. Yeah, it does look like pineapple. Oh, God. I mean, no. No, but funny. Haha. Are they trying to release this for summer? Is that their intention? They're trying to release this for summer? No. If this was like Halloween restricted, then I wouldn't have a problem with it, I guess. But not as an actual unrestricted item. So, I don't think this is appropriate for the game as... This is not appropriate for the game as anything other than Halloween restricted. And because you can't tell Valve what you do and do not want Halloween restricted, then this is just going to be put in the game as is. Yeah, the engineer is from Bee Cave, Texas, which is about a 30-minute drive from Austin, Texas. I have been to Bee Cave, Texas. There's not a lot going on in Bee Cave. There's like 5 strip centers and a hospital, and not much else. There's no bees. I looked for them. There's no bees. But Bee Cave is very boring. Bee Cave is not the happening place. It's a little ways away from Lake Travis, but not much going on. Why is it named? That's the builder's behind. It's like the butt. It's the stinger. I'm not seeing this as a fetish item. Do y'all see this as a fetish item? I don't. Are people into bees? Hold on, let me like... Bee fursona. Oh, it's very real. Whoa, okay, yeah. Can't show that on stream. Ooh boy, that's spicy. I'm just gonna save that. Save that for later. Look at the size of the tits on this one. My God. No, I'm just. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. No, but there are indeed fucking there are B personas. That's a thing. You like jazz? Anyways, as for this, keep this Halloween restricted. If this was Halloween restricted, fine, but don't have this be in the normal pool of items. Ellis Enterprise. Ellis Island Enterprise. So, they did these renders in Blender. So, I have a huge pet peeve with this shit. I understand that people want to show off their cool work and their items, and they want to make it as enticing as possible, so people upvote their items, right? But you need to show how these things look in-game and kind of present, and if you're going to make a promo for it, present that as best as you can and have it look as good as you can, because when people are voting on items, they're going to see this first, and most people, when they go in the workshop, don't do any investigating. Like, they don't look at all the other promo images, they don't look at the description, they don't look at that. They just vote yes and then move on. Of course, this works in their favor, because of course it keeps things higher up in the pages, and then Eric Smith is more likely to pick this. But, let's have a closer look, shall we? Honestly, I have to say no. It looks really weird. The way it's modeled and the way it folds is bizarre. Also, absolutely no default colors. No default colors at all. It's not the default red and blue. First of all, don't do that. You need to keep default team colorization on here. Does this have a fucking paint region? It doesn't seem like this has a paint region. Thank God. If it did, there would be a problem. Yeah, so on a matter of principle, I immediately have to downvote this and say no, because there are no default team colors. And I described this as best as I can in my team recognition video. When players are playing Team Fortress 2, they are looking for default red and blue. If there is no default red and blue on the player model, you are going to confuse players, and they are not going to know what they're looking at when they're playing the game in a split second, and that's what people need. And when you strip that away, that is bad. Do not do that. So, no. Also, yeah, it doesn't really look like the Heavy anymore. It has the build of the Heavy, but what about this is the Heavy other than the bullet bandolier going across his chest? There are other suit cosmetics that have been made for the Heavy that look so much better than this one. And I've shown them on my workshop streams before. There have been other suit sets for the Heavy that look so much better than this. This just does not look very good. So I have to say no. It's not good at all. The hat... Hang on, my dogs are barking. Hold on a second. Say hi. Come say hi to my stream. Come say hello to everybody. Oh. Hey. Hey. So this is Durango. She is 12 years old. And she is still as spunky as she was the day we got her. She loves to bark at people, especially the mailman. Hey, you gonna keep barking or not? I don't think so. You gonna keep doing it? I thought so. I thought so, dog. Hey, you want down? You want down? You want down? She is a dachshund. She is a weenie dog, as people call them. She's a dachshund, she is a weenie dog. You gonna hang out in here? You gonna go back out? Alright, see you, dog. Anyway, as I was saying, there are better suit cosmetics. The hat... I mean, I'd like more pictures than just these same ones. I mean, the hat is fine. Nothing particularly upsetting about the hat. I would, again, like more promos that haven't been doctored in Photoshop or painted over. Again, like, as I've said about other item sets that are this detailed, they express very high levels of creative prowess. You know, very obviously the person who made this is very skilled. But just because something is of quality doesn't mean that it's appropriate for Team Fortress 2. And this is another item set that is simply not appropriate for Team Fortress 2. And yes, the bandolier is clipping into the suit. So I just say no. The hat is fine. I see nothing wrong with the hat. But the suit, no. Backdated. Oh, simple. Simple. It's got like a... Ooh, it's got like a silver custom wear. I kind of like that. Inspired by the spy tech aesthetic and specially on Mountain Labs' colors and vibes. I think he meant to say specifically there, but I don't know. I like this. Simple, clean, good colors, good texture work. This is good. I would use this. Bomb Carrier without the stripes? No, this is better than Bomb Carrier. Bomb Carrier does not have that much going on. Not to say it's bad, but it's just, I consider this painfully mid, because we've received Stripes war paints basically since day one of war paints, and we don't need more of them. Take me now, God. Anywho, this one's good. I like it. I think that the colors are really good. This is just it's really good. I vote yes. I say yes, and I favorite this. Nice work. Nothing is good. Is this meant to be Drive? Is this meant to be literally him? I think that's what this is meant. Why is the zipper so fucking big? Why is the zipper huge? Jesus Christ. The zipper is massive. The hair isn't terrible? Hair's okay. Decent amount of loadout potential. Yeah, the hair's alright. This fucking cosmetic was a mistake. Yeah, the hair's fine. I see nothing wrong with it. What about the jacket? Why is it so glossy? I don't like the glossiness on it. I also don't like how they did this 3D style on here. Like, you can still translate the idea of, you know, his jacket over into the game, but there are some details that shouldn't have been incorporated, you know? Like the crosshatch leather, that pattern is a little too noisy to have in TF2. I don't think it looks very good. Also, the fact it's the lighting on it looks very strange. Like I know it's meant to be leather, right? But whenever you have a shiny cosmetic like this, I've yet to see one that doesn't look bad or doesn't look weird. Also, why is the zipper so fucking big? The zipper is like twice as wide as it needs to be. Do you even see the logo with Scout's duffel bag? I don't think you do, because it gets covered, which is fine. If Scout's duffel bag wasn't here, then I would have a bigger problem with this, because you don't need a giant emblem covering a huge chunk of the player model. But thankfully, his bag covers it, so that's fine. But, meh. The paint region isn't terrible. Thankfully, the under like the hood and the sleeves are a small enough area where it's not super noisy and in your face. It also looks like they did the good thing and they heavily toned down the saturation on the paints, which makes them not so eye-searing. So that's nice to see. I don't know. I'm not really sold on it. I'm not sold. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's alright. I think it's... I don't think... Is this meant to be the Beatles? Or is this meant to be No Country for Old Men? Because I see this, I immediately think No Country for Old Men. That's all I think of. Which it is. Oh, it is. Okay, yeah, it is meant to be No Country for Old Men, thank God. Step out of the control point, please, sir. Ah, funny. It just looks weird. I mean, haha, funny joke, but I just don't think it looks very good. Do I recommend No Country for Old Men? Yes, it is a... If you've not seen the movie No Country for Old Men, it is a fantastic movie. It is very good. No, yeah, see, here's the thing. When it comes to referencing external media, right? The previous cosmetic and this cosmetic are pretty good examples of how you should do it. And then, as I also discussed this with Lucid on his podcast before, but if you're going to reference a piece of external media, you really do want it to be tonally and thematically appropriate for Team Fortress 2, right? So, the sign of a good reference is referencing a piece of media that it's at least loosely in alignment with the tones and themes of the game, right? Main thing is make it subtle, right? Main thing is make it subtle, and you want to bring it over into the stylization of Team Fortress 2. That's like the bare minimum, right? But then the extra step is referencing a piece of media that's like, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense if this was in TF2, right? For example, the Minnesota Slick. If you've seen the movie Fargo, these guys are guns for hire, and this guy is a criminal and kills people, and you put the hair on the heavy with the cigar, it fits. Looks really good. Another example is you have yet another gun for hire working for, I don't know who exactly, but thematically and tonally, this is a good reference to make for TF2. Yeah, the Duke, for the heavy and the soldier, that is a perfectly good reference to make in TF2. It's toned down, it's brought over into the style of the game. That is good. An example of a reference to not make is the fucking Medic Stormtrooper set. This shit. This is not the right kind of reference to make inside of TF2, because this is just Star Wars. This is just Star Wars. This does not belong in TF2. This was not brought into the style of the game other than the fact it was modeled made to be inside of the game. Should not be in TF2. What else was there? TF2, JoJo, Heavy. You know, it's not TF2. Also, I just realized how little team color is on this fucking jacket. This is another example. Like the hat is fine. That's at least kind of works, but the jacket, falls a little bit short. What else is there? The, TF2 Mario hat, right? You have the fucking Mario cap, right? It's a little bit on the fucking nose, right? It's a little on the nose. This is the wrong way to make a reference inside of TF2, right? And also, yeah, like the Alien and Xenomorph Scout. You can't really make the exception for promotional items, and at least those are Halloween restricted, right? Those were Halloween restricted at the very least. But even then, those really stick out like a sore thumb, and they're so rare too. They're like, not to make an excuse, right? Just because an item is rare doesn't mean that it's appropriate for the game. But even though it's in, at least you don't have to see it, right? The Purity Fist, yeah, like that's the problem with a lot of promotional items, is that they were kind of ham-fisted into the game as like very explicit and direct references to the Batman fucking cosmetics. God, the fucking Batman cosmetics are easily the worst example of this, where it is just Batman's cowl slapped on top of people's heads. Or also or the more robotic one, yeah, the Octodad hat, for example. right? And promo weapons are all shit. I kind of disagree, because the Nostromo Napalmer somehow works. It looks like a TF2 weapon. I wish there was a strange version of the Nostromo Napalmer, because that looks really cool. It looks like a TF2 weapon as well. Also, the Maul is another one. That looks like a TF2 weapon. The Lugermorph, not so much. The Lugermorph's texturing is a little odd. The Apoco Fists as well. The Apoco Fists look like a TF2 weapon, right? Sometimes they get it right, sometimes they don't. Well, I should say sometimes they got it right, but many other times they didn't get it right. So, Iron Curtain. Well, the Iron Curtain, here's the thing. The thing about the Iron Curtain is that in Poker Night at the Inventory, it was specifically designed to be something from the Heavy, right? Like, it was designed with TF2 in mind. So, of course, it's going to look fine in TF2. But the only way you could get that was by playing the game, right? That's a very, very specific example of a promo item that was first made to be a TF2 item, then put into another game to incentivize people to play that game. It's kind of weird. So. What about the Bioshock items? Yeah, the Vitasaw, for example. The Vitasaw looks like a TF2 item. That works. They made that work. Fish Cake as well. The Fish Cake looks like a TF2 item. There are other examples of things that kind of work. Yeah, the Lugermorph, the Pretty Machete, the Big Kill, those don't look like TF2 weapons. The Opera Hand is too modern, and also, the problem with the Opera Hand is, it's still too strongly tied to reality. All of TF2's weapons are caricaturized iterations of existing weaponry, right? They have exaggerated sizes, they have unrealistic geometry and unrealistic mechanisms, but they still kinda look like something that could be real, right? Even something like the Sticky Bomb Launcher, which physically makes no sense, still kind of looks like a real weapon. Whereas the AWP is just a 50 caliber rifle, with no real changes made to it. It doesn't look like a TF2 weapon, it still is too closely attached to reality. And that's why it kind of sticks out. Also, this exists because everyone has to have a vehicle. This like. What's wrong with this picture? Could someone tell me what's wrong with this? AWP is not 50 cal? I don't know guns now. Whatever. Don't care. But what's wrong with this picture? Does this look like a taunt to anyone? Does this look like a taunting action to anyone? Does this look like an action that a mercenary would belt out while jeering someone that they just killed? No, this is not a taunt. This is an emote. This is a little activity. This is a little bit of go-kart racing that they've laced into the game as a little fun time activity you can engage with your friends. This is not a taunt. This is an emote. Yeah. Gets a really awesome trick stab, pulls off an insane kill with his revolver. Instead, like, just the classic taunt of like, ha, fuck you, I'm fixing my tie because I have to readjust it after moving to kill you, right? That's a fucking classic good taunt, right? Kills someone with a revolver, oh shit, I had to move a little bit too much to kill you. Let me fix my tie, put that back where it needs to be. That's a fucking taunt. This is not. Garbage. No thanks. Not interested. The regulator exists. I have yet to see someone make a hat that does what the regulator does, but better. Am I wrong to think that way? The regulator is just too good of a hat. And I've yet to see anyone come close to another, you know, Jamaica, Rastafarian, whatever. I've yet to see someone else come close to just how good that hat is. And that's been in the game for a long time. I don't know. The hat itself seems fine, but the dreads look really weird. The dreads look like really chunky snakes. I feel like it just doesn't look very good. I don't like the hair. The hair is weird. Also, yeah, the team colors are a bit odd. Like, you have the default here. Maybe not. I think it's fine. It's just the hair. Really, it's just the hair. The hair looks bad. The modeling work is not very good on this. I have to say, no thanks to that. Bomb shelter. So you see what they were going for here? You see what they were going for? They were going for where the tanks or the robots deposit the bomb. So it's just the gray metal and the rust. So it's a cool concept. They technically executed this perfectly. It needs something. I feel like it feels a little too sweeping across gray. This is another example of a weapon that you want to be going for with higher wear, so you can get the rust on it, and that makes it look a lot better. You know? Like, when you get the rust on there, then it looks really cool. It's like, you know, it's like TF2's version of rust coat. Like CSGO's rust coat finish on the knives. Or on there's other, like, there's a sawed-off rust coat, there's, what else is there? There's the Mag 7 has a rust coat. Am I missing any? I think that's it. Are those all the rust coats? I'm probably missing another one. I think I'm missing another rust coat from CSGO or CS2, whatever. But I don't know, I'm kind of okay with this. I feel like Gaming Lads Official has been compromised. Poor guy. His YouTube channel got hacked. Yeah, I honestly, I really don't see anything wrong with this. I think the addition of the sticker is just, it's like the nice little thing it needs to have on there. Add the rivets, maybe? I don't know. I don't know if it needs them. I feel like adding the rivets might not be a good detail. Or maybe not. Maybe it kind of does. Maybe it does need the rivets. Maybe it needs the rivets. Maybe it needs some of, like, the folds or the metal plating. Maybe. Maybe. Personally, I don't think it does. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Add the orange wood? Nah, I don't think the wood would look strange with this. I like it. I'm vetoing everyone else's opinions. I like this one. I say yes. It just looks weird. I don't know how to feel about this. I don't know how to feel about a gas mask for Spy. How old is this? It's ancient. Made in 2014. I don't know. Yeah, the cigarette hole is a cute touch. The paint region's terrible. I hate the fucking paint region. It was updated in 2020. The paint region is odd, but it's not... Honestly, it's not bad. Like, they have successfully taken an element from another class and put it on another class. That's very rare, right? Like things you shouldn't do. Like, don't put Medic's white lab coat on another mercenary. Don't do that, because one of the key identifying features of the Medic is his white coat. Same thing for the Engineer's hard hat. Don't put the bright fluorescent Engineer's hard hat onto another class and have that be the default colorization. Not a good idea. The thing about Pyro's gas mask is that it's not his main primary identifying feature from a distance. His head is very malleable. Pyro's head, as we all know, can be turned into many different things and it will still look like the Pyro. So his mask is not his defining feature. The Spy's technically is, right? Because it's the Spy, you're not supposed to know what he looks like. It adds more to it, just by covering the rest of his face. I'm not really offended by this. It still looks like the Spy. I feel like they added that post hoc because of, you know, comments floating around. No, yeah, it still looks like the Spy, which is, you know, good job. You did it. Voice lines wouldn't make sense the other day. They intentionally muffle the voice lines. That'd be a cute detail. I personally just hate the paint region. Why don't you just make the eyes paintable? Just have the eyes be painted. That would be fine. Spy's defining gameplay identifiers are his suit and unique colors. Yes, and his spindly appearance. His wiry frame is very key to identify him as well. And I've seen a lot of cosmetics that violate that. Don't do that. The paint region should have been the eyes. In my opinion. I don't like the entire mask being paintable. The cigar and the eyes should be the only paintable things. I agree. You gotta have more subtle paint regions. Also, level of detail adjustments, which still... this is a rare thing to do. This is a very rare thing. I never see this in workshop showcases, where they actually show what happens to the cosmetic when it drops in quality. When the level of detail changes either based on your game settings or your render distance. Ah, that's a cool thing to do. Oh no, I'm not offended by it. I'll say yes. So... I hope... Is Richter still here? Like, is Richter still here? I hope he knows that, like, he's the catalyst for one of the most widespread fucking memes that TF2 has ever seen. Like, this is his legacy. This is Richter's legacy. Is this fucking thumbnail he did, right? And he's burst weed soldier. Thank you, Richter. Needless to say, no. But it's funny. It's not really funny. Honestly, the joke's been beaten to death. Like, the joke was funny the first time it happened. Like, when Richter put out the video and then someone made the weed soldier joke, funny. But now that I've seen the joke a million times, I don't care anymore. It's not funny anymore. It's so fucking goddamn in tarnished, definitely dear God over. It's a hell of a way to put it. Just let you know, I accidentally sent my Steam profile instead of a workshop link. Oops. Well, I will not click. I mean, I can advertise your Steam. I'm reading donations. I can click your Steam profile and I can show the world. I can show you to the world. Red Blood Meridian, best book by Carmack, the guy who made No Country for Old Men. There you go. Another recommendation for people. Crystal Weed. Not quite. Not quite. It's a bit much. The dark texture is fine, but the yellow, yeah, the gold is bad. It does look like a toy. Yeah, the texture work very much leaves something to be desired. Also, it has the custom wear that makes it go gold. It's not a bad idea, but you need to change the color. It's too saturated, it's too rich. Ideally, what's the most gold you could do? Like, gold is really hard to get right in TF2 without it looking like a gaudy Australian. That is just one of the main problems with doing gold or silver in TF2. The skin that gets the closest to what gold can look like is the iron wood. Technically, this is brass, but if you want to do gold, you kind of want to aim in this territory. This is pretty good for what you kind of want to hit for gold. If you're going to do just like a straight, you know, mimicking of Australian, what you're going to get is something that looks like a giant plastic toy. I also feel like the gray could stand from using some texture. It doesn't even look like it's like, it just looks like a solid color. You need more of that painterly style on there with a lot more, with other, you know, default textures. I'll show you what I mean. Hold on. I'll show you what I mean. Materials and patterns, and say you have like solid gray, right? They probably should have gone, oop, that's the light gray, I want dark gray. Charcoal. Yeah, they probably should have gone with this texture. Like, it's fine to use existing textures in game and then doing like minimal edits, like, oop, not what I wanted to do. So for example, just like put this next to that gold right here. This already is a slightly better composition to help balance out the intensity of that gold. If this was the texture they used instead of the solid black, it would already look a lot better. Because you have this very rich gold contrasting with the dark black, and it's just too strong. So I would desaturate the gold to make it more in line with something like the Ironwood, Warpaint, or Minigun. And then I would adjust your black texture to have more texture like this, like the painterly style, and maybe lighten it up a little bit. and then go from there. Oh, thank God. I was hoping someone would send this one to me, dude. So, ever since Pamp has kind of moved on from TF2, and rightly so. For those of you that don't know who Pamp is, and was, and still is, probably one of the best skin creator, or probably just like the best skin creator that has ever graced the TF2 workshop. He has created, in my opinion, one of the best libraries of skins for TF2. Pamp did. So few people come close to the skins that he managed to create for TF2 that Valve, fucking unfortunately, will just continue to ignore. It's a goddamn travesty. I cannot praise that man enough for the work he's done. But then we have this guy named Pear. Pear has very much taken up his mantle. Pear is really, really paying attention, like Pamp did, and has been making some of the best fucking war paints that I have seen ever made for the game. And this is easily in like the top 5, dare I say even top 3 of just the best war paints I've seen made for TF2. Aiden makes good work too, but like these guys are better. I'm sorry. Like Aiden, you do good stuff, but these guys are just a step above. Holy fuck. This is just so good. It has everything right. Referencing the spy tech, the colors, the texture work, the custom logos are fucking phenomenal on this war paint. This needs to be in-game immediately. It is just hands down, and it also has a custom wear, right? It wears down to more silver. Fucking phenomenal work from this guy. My God. And know what, like, I'm gonna abuse my chat right now. Please go fucking upvote this. It is insanely good. Insanely good. Please go vote this. For my selfish desires, go upvote this. Yeah, unfortunately, as with every other war paint that we see, it uses a custom base. So Valve will never add this. But at the very least, we can show this guy love and appreciation for how fucking good this. You know what, you fucking asshole? I'm just gonna ban you, man. You are an endless ball of sour negativity, just consistently baiting chat. Just go be a miserable sack of shit somewhere else. Such a shame that this is never going to be added into the game. I just cannot believe it. It is so sad. But it is so good, so go show this guy some love. He deserves it. It's really well done. Fan-fucking-tastic. Amazing work. 100%. See what I mean? Anyway. Fantastic war paint. Wow, we have a fucking weapon unusual effect. This is rare. You know, like, this is very old, too. Uploaded in 2019. So, I was having this discussion with some people before. So, I was talking about this with the unusual weapon effect that was put in the Tropic Thunder, Tropic Crisis content pack update, what have you. So, they're a cool idea. The problem with a lot of weapon effects that I see on the workshop, and also with Isotope, and also Energy Orb, is that they do impact one small crucial detail on some weapons. And the problem is that you can't tell when the weapon is being fired at a distance, because there are muzzle flares in this game. And it is good to know when someone is shooting at you. Depending on game settings, depending on what have you, tracers may not always show up. So it's good to see when a gun is being fired. And unusual weapon effects do occlude that. And, in my opinion, or I honestly don't know this, but part of me hopes that the reason why Valve stopped adding them was for that reason. Because they ended up being a bit too far down into territory. I mean, at this point, a lot of things in the game just completely bastardized the design elements TF2 has for the sake of readability and gameplay. But part of me hopes that the reason why Valve stopped adding them wasn't out of laziness, but out of the understanding that it's not good to have this kind of cosmetic in the game. For the sake of preserving readability and also understanding what weapon someone is using. So, yeah, 149 it's 149 kilobytes. It's not that big. Or they realize they're ugly. If Valve cared about aesthetic, if Valve genuinely cared about aesthetic in TF2, 85% of what they added since 2017 would not be in the game. Valve clearly does not care about aesthetic anymore. They haven't for a long time. That's why I'm here, and hopefully trying to curate better content for people to go upvote so we can get better content in TF2, instead of the absolute bottom of the barrel dregs we were receiving from 2018 to 2021. That's why I keep doing this. Despite, ultimately, none of it really mattering because we can't play the fucking game thanks to bots, but I'd like to have some impact where I can, so that's why I still do this. Anyways, as for this effect, I mean, it looks cool, but is it necessarily appropriate for the game? No, it's this big, you know, purple cloud over the weapon, and then so envision this in front of the player model, occluding everything, including the weapon. It's not a good idea for TF2. Just not a good idea for TF2. This one again. It's like it's a bit much, don't you think? It's just a little too much. It's a little strong, a little too far down there. Like, you gotta. Yeah, no. This looks like I can go to like Envato elements. Like, I'll just go to Envato Elements and I'll do fucking, I don't know, Neon Driver, you know, or Neon Landscape or something, right? That's what I'm just immediately reminded of shit like this, right? That's like, this does not belong in TF2. This is an asset that I can download and use for free. I don't think so. No, thank you. This does not belong in TF2. We don't need an unusual effect that looks like this. I will have to say hard no. Oh, and Envato Elements is it's a service you can pay like a monthly subscription, and then you have access to thousands and thousands of elements and videos and pictures and what have you. Like, look at that. Look how fucking just giant, flashy, and gaudy this is. I had like just look at like at a distance, this big purple dot floating around. I understand unusual effects are supposed to be gaudy, right? I understand that unusual effects are supposed to be gaudy, they're supposed to be noticeable, but there's a fucking line, and this goes way far beyond it. First time watching your stream, but love your vids. Hate that the TF2 community makes you seem evil. You are funny, trying to keep this game great, not letting the unique style get ruined. Best wishes. Thanks, man. You're awesome. Appreciate that. Yeah, people like to demonize others they disagree with. That is the nature of the internet. So, you get used to it. Hard pass on that unusual effect. War is health. This just looks better. This just looks better. A green military helmet on medic just looks really out of place. Yeah, I don't think it should be green. Yeah, I know it's a meme reference, but it doesn't, they chose the wrong colors for this. Green looks really weird on the medic when he's mostly white and team colors, and then throwing dark green on there as the default color just does not look good. I don't like this helmet. Like, all the details are cute, that's fine, but green is just the wrong color. I don't like it. They could have done any other color than green, and I would like this so much more. It looks weird. The humidity harness. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, the shirt is good. Yeah, I know. We have the full metal helmet for Scout, and that looks way better on him than on Medic. The shirt's good. The shirt looks good. This is, you know, a decent generic shirt. You know, a little more of the flesh showing. It's not bad. It's pretty good. I am unoffended by this. Is it? Please don't tell me it's paintable. Fucking God! Why'd you make this paintable? We don't need this giant swath of color in the middle of Medic's. Fucking God damn it! No! Stop it! And then these fucking awful gloves. Look how fucking chunky his hands are. Look at this. Look. Ugh. Got like sausage wrists. Oh, it twists in this weird fucking way. Ah. Look how fucking thick is. So they have to model over the Medic's existing gloves in order to give him fingerless gloves. And as a result, his fingers double in thickness. So he's got like big, swollen, you know, too much salt, diabetic hands. Looks really bad. No, this just does not look good. Modeling work is terrible. It's not good. Not good at all. Should not be in the game. Looks like ass. This would be fine if it didn't have the paint region in the middle. And oh look, surprise, surprise, what does this motherfucker do? This guy picks out the most tame colors imaginable, but no one's gonna paint it like that. People are gonna paint it pink, people are gonna paint it lime green, people are going to paint it, guess what? Colors similar to slate. And you have that smack dab in the middle of Medic amongst other cosmetics, you're gonna fucking confuse people. No. No. No thank you. This, however, is much better. I don't think. Give me some in-game screenshots. Now we're talking. Now we're cooking. Take your unusual off. I don't want you showing that you have $700 hats. I don't care. Show me the weapon. I like this. I think this is good. I'm a fan of this. This is Civ, once again. So Civ is another guy that has been doing a really, really good job of making skins. He's been doing some really, really good stuff on the workshop. Like this one, holy fuck. This one is so good. I've looked at this one before, but this is another war paint that is fucking awesome. So Civ and Pear are doing God's work when it comes to making awesome skins. Like, Jesus Christ. They do amazing work. Anyways, back to this one. This one's good. So I'm gonna nitpick on the promos. It bugs me when people use one of the war paint textures as the background for their promo. You want to use a background that helps really exemplify what it's gonna look like in game, ideally on a neutral background, right? Because if you throw more of the same colors or a similar texture behind them, it's gonna do you a disservice. It's not gonna really show how this genuinely looks, right? Because I liked this a lot more when I see how it looks in game. Right? It looks better when you have it with the in-game screenshots. Not those promos. Use a more neutral color. Like a lighter neutral color. This looks really good. They handled the checker pattern. Looks great. Colors are phenomenal. Texture work is awesome. Love the little detail here with the grid, the grill as the sticker. Looks really, really good. Custom base. This is a war paint and not a UV skin. Oh, so this has a chance. My dog is barking again. This one has a chance of being added. This one has a chance. Custom wear and normal maps? Dude. Please, God, give us good skins like this. I don't want more garbage. We had summer 2023. Please keep up that trend. Keep the good skins coming. Durango! Ah! Enough! Keep the good skins coming. Robo Refined. Yeah, I'm okay. Ooh, hey, there we go. Did I see this one before? I don't think I've seen this one before. No, I've not. It's uploaded literally today. It's got the oil, dude. It's got the oil. Look, thank you. Not enough people do this. Not enough people do this with the oil splatters. Very, very underutilized concept. Some people have done it. Like, it's a non-unique thing. Others have done it before. But I like how this guy did it. Bitter, bitter, batter. This guy did it really good. Because it's not super saturated. It's like it's a lighter gray, kind of washed out. Is very good. Nice detail. You handle the oil splatters really, really well. The colors are really good. The texture work is really good. I just don't like the light. I don't like this. This is bothering me. I don't know if you need this. I don't think you need the sticker. Honestly, I would remove it. I would take it off. You take that off, this war paint's like a 10 out of 10. With the sticker, it's like a 7, because it's kind of an eyesore. It doesn't mesh with the overall composition very well at all, it just sticks out like a sore thumb. I do not like it. Some kind of faded text or icon or something else would be way better. I completely agree. Some kind of faded text or like, I'm trying to think of any, like, do any of the robots have some kind of text on them? They don't. You could do something, you could do even something as simple as like gray man and have that be an element somewhere on the weapon, perhaps. But then you'd have to apply some kind of custom sticker mapping to make that work. Or robot's eyes, a bolt? I don't know if, no, because there's rivets on this, right? There's rivets in kind of the metal plate here. Adding a rivet sticker wouldn't look very good, I don't think. Just have it say Manco. The thing is, it's not Manco, it's meant to be the machines. So I think gray man would be better. Perhaps. A grate, maybe? I don't know, man. A gear? Why not? I don't think it needs a sticker. Sentry Buster silhouette? Probably too detailed. Maybe if it was just the head and not the legs, that could work. Maybe. Black TF logo? Maybe. You see it down there in the lower left. Maybe. Yeah, why wasn't that? It's right there. Why wasn't that the sticker? You could have... So, Gray Man is like the antithesis to the mercenaries, right? Gray Man is the antithesis to the existence of teams, because the robots were originally meant to be gray, right? With man versus machine. And then man versus machine, you were meant to be a mix of red and blue, fighting against the gray robots. But then Valve changed that because people would get confused, and so they made the robots blue and the mercenaries red. So, the antithesis to Team Fortress, like the brand or whatever, is like the normal TF logo. Mirror that and then make it black. That could be cool. Mirror that and make it black. Why don't I make your own good war paint like an Emporium to get the good items of the game? Because I'm not an artist. And I choose to spend my time learning and engaging in other hobbies than being an artist. If I were as talented as these guys are, then I would absolutely be making my own war paints. But sadly, I'm not. Hold on, my sister texted me. Give me a second. Anyway. Yeah, sadly I have a life. No, listen, like if it was my job to learn, if it was my job to be an artist, sure, but I'm not. So, like, I don't have the time to learn this. Is my sister hot? She's taken. Relax. Down, boy! Down! Down! The Casanova cut. Did they spell Casanova wrong? No, they didn't. It is one S. I thought it was two. Anyway. Casanova cut. Very Austin Powers. I like the hair. The hair is fine. Nothing wrong with the hair at all. The hair is really good. I vote yes on the hair. Let's check the entire suit. The entire getup. Scouts is fine, Snipers is not. I also don't like the pants. The pants look really weird, and so do the shoes. The shirt, this is not good. So vest bad. You don't want to make the vest on Sniper lighter than his team color. Because the point of Sniper's vest being darker is because the contrast from dark to light guides the player's eyes towards the team color. And when you strip that away, it kind of models Sniper to look like a big kind of grayish blob. You don't want to do that. Don't like the vest. Also, too many colors. Ideally, why isn't it just all one color? Why didn't you just make it all this darker shade? That would have been totally fine. Instead of having the lower half be this lighter color. Why'd you do that? I don't like it. The pants look weird. The weird chunky bell bottoms really don't look like TF2 all that much. Scout's shirt is fine. Scout's shirt is fine. Yeah, the concept is fine. Conceptually, this would work in TF2, but it's just the execution, especially on Sniper, very much leaves something to be desired. Yeah, they should have made the vest all the darker color, and then this would have been totally fine. Shame. The ascot's a bit girthy. The ascot is girthy. I don't like it. It looks like it's like thick. It looks like tongues. It's like two tongues overlapping each other. Is there a style without the ascot? Looks like there is. Yeah, the pants just don't, that looks like a different. A cosmetic tends to look out of place when you start deviating away from the default character models a little too much. Like, you can get away with a little bit, right? You can get away with some things. For example, oh, that's not my example. I meant to click Demo Man. Do I have my dynamite abs? Do I still have those? I don't know if I do. No, Vampiro was not my example. That's not in the game. Where do I still have these? I don't think I have the dynamite abs anymore. I don't. Shame. So, like, you can get away. Oh, do I have the? I don't have that either. Fuck. TF2 dynamite abs. So you can get away with some silhouette violations a little bit without it looking too weird. And this isn't an issue of like being able to identify the class by the silhouette. This is just talking about when it starts to look weird, right? The dynamite abs is about as far as you can go with adjusting the default proportions on the character model before things start looking bizarre and not like the established TF2 mercenaries, if that makes sense, right? This is the limit. And then when I come look at this, the legs, and especially the feet, because they have to model over the existing feet, it deviates so far from what we expect the sniper's proportions and the scout's proportions to look like that it just looks funky. No pun intended. So, it doesn't look right. It looks weird. The Scout's shirt, fine. The hair is really good, but the vest really falls short on Sniper, and I just think the pants are really bad. So, I have to vote no on these, but the hair is fine. Oh, hey, there's a version with glasses. Look. Yeah, the glasses are fine. Yeah, the hair and glasses are fine, but the shirt and the pants, no. We saw that. Prism Pulse. It's a bit much, man. It's a bit much. Too many colors. If you want to do color bands that like with a gradient, you really need to limit your palette, because if you throw too many colors onto a weapon model or onto anything in TF2, it gets too noisy. It gets way too noisy. So ideally, if you're going to do something like this, you want to go from red to yellow, or from blue to green, or from blue to purple, right? You don't want to go all the way across from red to blue. That's too many colors, and then the stripes are too narrow to where it just makes it too noisy. There are other war paints that have done this concept a lot better. I forget the name of the one, but it literally just has 3 stripes that are team colored, and that looks a lot better. Pink Floyd reference? Not quite. I mean, is it meant to be a Pink Floyd reference? Retro cassette war paint? Nah, not quite. It's meant, yeah, retro cassette is fine. But, you didn't need to have the rainbow on the black. Perhaps if it was just on the gold or the white, then that would have been fine. It'd be a little less busy, but I feel like this would benefit from splitting the rainbow into 2 team variants, going from red to yellow and then from blue to green or blue to purple. I think that would look a lot better, because you can't have a full-on rainbow. The only things that, in my opinion, barely get away... I don't have these anymore, so I have to inspect them. So the only things that barely get away with a rainbow in TF2 are these. And the reason why it gets away with it is because it's very, very pastel. It's very, very undersaturated, right? So it's not this harsh red to harsh blue. It's very washed out. And there's fewer colors, and the bands are a lot wider. It gets away with it. This is how you want to handle a rainbow in TF2. Beyond that, it gets way too harsh and way too strong, and it looks weird inside the game. So. Oh, it looks ugly. I do not like that rainbow. I'm not a fan of these skins either, but at least they don't stick out as, you know, as much as this would, right? It wouldn't be as this in your face. So, in my opinion, split this into 2 different gradients, and then I think you'd have something really cool. Enigmatic Embers. When was this uploaded? On the 20th, 27th? Why does it have to be team colored? Can it just be normal embers? Can I just have like normal yellow embers or normal orange embers? I think it looks weird if it's team colored. Oh, the Sonic Mania playlist is reaching its end. Now we're getting into like the danger music. Put on too mellow. Can I just have this be yellow or orange? Could I have this look like normal flaming embers? I think that'd be a lot nicer. What happened to team recognition? In my team recognition video, I state that if different colors are restricted to the head is generally, well, it is, a neutral region, and it's very small. Putting stuff on the head, you can get away with a lot. And that's why Valve went with hats before anything else. Because they don't occlude all of the important colors that are on the rest of the player model. So with unusual effects, you tend to be able to get away with, you can get away with a lot. So long as you don't have a red effect on blue team or a blue effect on red team. Then it would fuck with people, right? So if it's constrained to the head, you can get away with a lot. But if I'm being told that this is embers, can I have them be orange or yellow? I think that would be a lot cooler. And then, because everyone does this now, you could just have another variant that is the team color, right? Like a separate variant of the effect, because now we have to have 7 versions of every effect thrown into the game. So I vote yellow or orange. That's why I like, That's why I like this effect so much, because this looks like embers. This feels like fire, right? Like, ideally at some point, if... Like, I would have loved to have had, like, a flaming, like, a burning flames hat to match this with. Then it'd be, like, flames with embers. That would be cool. But since this is, like, the closest we can get to embers in TF2, this is the effect that I like. And I feel like if this was yellow or orange, then that'd be a lot better, in my opinion. But sadly, it's not. Get used to it! I have Fempyro in my game! Like, every time I do it, people flip out. So what? There is Fempyro in my game. Behold titties. Oh no. Anyways, it's not bad. I'm like, even like, I think I leaned too hard into this effect right away. Compared to a lot of the other effects we have in the game at this point, compared to a lot of other things that we have on the workshop at this point, this effect is very good. It's very clean, it's very simple, it's not this big, gaudy orb in your face like we saw with the Vaporwave one a little while ago. This one is quite nice. It, as is, sure, I'd take it. This is fine. But please, for my own selfishness, make me a one that looks yellow or orange so it looks like embers. And then we're good. It's not really a taunt, though. It's so, like, it's so comically overly animated. It just, like, compare that, so, like, look at this. Look at the juxtaposition of these animations, right? So, played at half speed, right? So, watch the soldiers' animations running in. Look at the simplicity of these animations, right? Coming in. And then compare that to these motions. Like, these really overly done. You get in here. Boom, and then wapa! It's not really TF2. It doesn't feel like a TF2 animation, doesn't feel like a TF2 action. It's not really a taunt either. I guess it kind of is, but it's just like, here, we are going to manifest this random object coming out of the ground so the character model can engage with it. I'm a big fan of classic TF2 taunts. It just goes too far. I don't like it. I don't think it's appropriate for the game. I don't like it. I have seen this one before. This one's very good. Bomb Slinger. Okay. All right. Now we're talking. This is good. I like this a lot. This is awesome. Demo Man, like we have the Frontier Justice, right? That's a little too on the nose for a reference. It doesn't look bad, but this feels like a uniquely Demo Man piece of Western wear. I like this a lot. This is really good, and the match in the mouth is a really nice touch. I agree. It is a really nice touch. The match in the mouth is really clever. It's really good. That screams TF2. And the like this too, the vest with the dynamite on there, and it's like the classic demo logo with the stick of dynamite, and the like everything about this cosmetic set is fucking phenomenal. This is really good. Yes. Subtle paint region, it's only the scarf. Not the sleeves, just the scarf. Thank you. God, this is great. This is fantastic. Yes, yes to both of these, man. This is really good work. This was made 2 days ago. Fuck yeah, man. I would use this. Go vote this. This is some of the best cosmetics I've seen in a while. Holy fuck. This is really good. Yeah, I know, the whole hat is paintable, but like I can overlook this in favor of these other, in favor of it like just looking so good. Is the scarf muted colors? I don't think it is. It doesn't look like it. If the hat wasn't, then I don't think the scarf would be. They just went out of their way to choose more of the toned down colors. But the paint region is small enough. Unless they're intentionally hiding that it is also the sleeves, because I can't see them. Because here they show the sleeve here, but they're not showing the rest of it. If the sleeves are painted, if this is also paintable, very dubious, very fucked up. Those sleeves better not be fucking paintable. If they are, I'll be very upset. And I will absolutely retract everything I just said about this item set, because you are intentionally misleading people into thinking that the sleeves are not paintable. And if they are, you're a piece of shit. False advertising. They better fucking not be. Sure, Demo Man's sleeves are white normally, but this is a different cosmetic that may have changed that. And we don't know if they've changed that or not. We don't know. They better not be fucking paintable. Okay, we have an entire collection of war paints. Am I gonna go through them all? Yes. I won't take too long on each one, though. Centurion's Claim. I understand, like, this, like, see, here we go. This guy did gold really well. If you're doing gold, this is pretty good. This is good. I don't like the sticker. The sticker is really weird. The sticker just doesn't really, why? It looks like this is themed after, like, some college football team. This is like a college football team emblem or something. I don't like this. I would honestly just get rid of that. You don't need it. You don't need a sticker on this. But other than that, everything about this war paint is really fucking cool. The texture work is really good. I love the pattern. You managed to make gold look really good. You got gold working really well. What the fuck is this? Fucking random private profile also attached to this? Is it like your girlfriend? I wonder if this guy put his girlfriend on here. What else have you made? He's done maps before. Oh, he did this one. Oh, he did this one. He did the Jackson Pollock one. Right, that's why I remember his name. Okay. That is why I remember. Yeah, I think this is good except for the sticker. It's good except for the sticker. Next. Technic Zeal? The Bionicle reference? This is meant to be Bionicle? What the fuck? Excuse me? I think it is. I think this is meant to be a Bionicle mask. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that looks like the Mask of Light. Just a little bit. Unless this is referencing something else. It kind of looks like it. Just a little bit. The sticker does not belong in the game. Like, it's cute, right? Like, it's cute, sure. Bionicle, fine. I love Bionicle, fine. But it does not need the sticker. MF Doom mask looks bad. I don't know why they went with a green custom wear. I'm not really sure what they were going for here. Bionic and ancient weaponry from another era. Funny. It's a little on the nose. I think it's meant to be Bionicle, which is cool and cute, but I don't like the sticker. The sticker's a bit odd. I think the black, I mean, the normal textures are fine. Honestly, I don't think you should have done green. You know what you should have done? You should have done yellow. You should have done like a yellow or orange custom wear. I think that would look a lot better than green. Because then it looks like there's like actual power in there. Because like you say, otherworldly energy, like pukish, you know, biohazard green doesn't really convey that really well. I would have done yellow or orange. That conveys a lot more. That conveys the idea of energy a lot more. And also, yes, the contrast between black and orange and black and yellow looks a lot better than black on green. So. Eh. I mean, it's a cute reference, but the sticker really isn't in line with TF2 in TF2 signage. So, need some tweaks. Graphite gripped. Okay, all right. Okay. Pretty good. I feel like the grip. I feel like it needs to be scaled up a little bit. Just a tad. I feel like your lines are a little too narrow. Or maybe they're not. It's hard. No, it looks fine on the knife. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. No, maybe not. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Is there a custom wear on this one? Wear showcase kind of just wears down to silver. I think it's good. I think it's cool. I vote yes. It's pretty neat. I dig it. What do y'all think? I like it. A nice, clean, simple gray one. Secretly serviced. I think it's better than secretly serviced because you have like a nice splash of silver on there. This guy, like fuck, like look at this. This guy not only managed to handle silver well, but he did gold and silver really well. Hey, ladies, chill out. If you're fighting in my chat, take it to DMs. You're being annoying and distracting. Quit it. Chill out. Don't make me time you out. I'll put you in the fucking corner. Make you think about your actions. Both of y'all. Don't make me do it. Quit it. We're all friends here. At least I hope so. At least I hope so. Anyway, yeah, this guy did gold and silver really well on 2 separate war paints. It's actually really cool. I like this one. I say yes. I think it's good. Very nice. Good work. Scrumpy spilled. Okay, it's a play on liquid asset, except he made it beer instead of the very bright, vibrant water. I don't know, man. There's another war paint on the workshop that's just the bottle without trying to emulate the appear of liquid, and it looks a lot better than this one. It's just trying to emulate the appearance of liquid on a 2D flat static texture is really hard to do. I love the colors. I like the bottle texture. I like the gray. It's just this looks strange. The wear is fine. You know what? Maybe not. I now looking at it in game. There's another bottle war paint on the workshop. There's another bottle war paint on the workshop where the bottle brown is a bit richer. It's like a bit more, it's a tinge more saturated, a bit more vibrant. It's almost there. A little bit of the shine going on. I can appreciate that. I mean, I'm not offended by this. Honestly, I'm not offended. I think it's good. Like, I think it's a little too... I think it needs a little bit more of a richer brown. I think this could be a bit richer. Maybe even not. I think it's... actually, no. I retract that. I think the main problem for this is, like, it's really hard to get a static water texture to look good. This gets there, or I should say a static fluid texture to look good. It's okay. I'll say yes. It's not as good as the other ones, but it's alright. Tire treaded. Tire treads. Tire treads are really fucking hard to get right. I don't think he did a very good job. The colors are... all of the colors are really well, but this tire texture is just not quite right. You need to simplify it. You need to narrow down the stripes a little bit, because you end up getting big chunks of, like, the tread, and it doesn't look like a tire anymore. It just looks noisy. I would remove this bit here, like the parts where it curves out, wipe that off entirely, narrow that part a little bit, and then that might be all you need to do. It's almost there. It's almost there. Almost there, but the tire texture is a little too noisy. But all the colors are fucking great. The color work is great. The rest of the texture work is really, really good. Like, even if like this was just like a solid gray, I would use this immediately. But yeah, it's too noisy. I think your tire texture needs some simplification. I wish I could remember. Hang on. Was it in this? Hang on, I think it was in this. It was. Hold on. It's the cosmetics, my bad. Where are the skins? It's the next day. It's in this... yeah. Or am I misremembering like an idiot? Yeah, here we go. There. That is the tire texture you want to go for. This. It's simple. It's the same colors, but it still conveys that it's a tire, right? This is probably about as detailed as you want to get for a tire texture. I would go for some yeah, very much simplify your tire texture. Go for this. You do it like that, then it's very good. That's perfect. Yeah, not too busy. Yeah, it's not too busy. Not too noisy. It doesn't get all jumbled and messed up together. That's what you want to go for. Yes. As the only criticism I have on this one. The rest of it is fine. Yeah. Leather lethality. Oh! Okay. Take a sip. How would you look at that? That's really good. That's clean, dude. Oh, that's clean. That's nice. I like that a lot. That's sick. Man, that is so reminiscent of the gentleman skin textures, dude. You got like, just fuck, that is so well done. I hope he made these. I hope these are all original textures, man. Look at that. It is so nice, dude. Look at the fucking minigun. Look at the minigun. Look at the minigun. Oh, it's so good. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, this is one of those skins that's going to look very different under different lighting by nature of how he has the shaders on these. Yeah, see, here we go. Like, depending on the light, you get that shine on there. Oh, look at that, dude. Oh, that is nice. Yeah, this is really good. Definitely the best one in the collection so far. Dare I say? I'm gonna send it in the chat. Yeah, I'm gonna send that in the chat. I vote people. If you want to, go vote this. Stock Striker. What's he going for here? I guess he's using like the stock weapon colors, and then he just kind of applied that over to a war paint. That's clever. I've seen this done. And have I seen this before? I feel like I might be like gaslighting myself into thinking I've seen this before, but he just took like the stock colors of the weapons and then put that over, and had that translate into all of the weapon models. So some are gonna look very similar to their vanilla counterparts, whereas others are gonna look very different. Like the Degreaser looks good, Lock and Load looks good, Tomislav, dare I say, looks better than the default Tomislav. I like it. It's simple, it's nice. Yeah, I like it. I say like if we were to get this, it'd make for a really solid mercenary grade. I'd say a very solid mercenary grade. I like it. What class do you think has the worst cosmetics? I think Pyro has been bastardized the most. 100%. Will this go up as a VOD? Yes. I'm recording this separately so I can re-upload this as a video on this channel. Overstock would be a good name. Yeah, maybe. I think Stock Striker's fine. But Overstock is fine too. Cool collection. Good shit. Okay, let me do the I'm gonna move on. Let's get some more links. I think I lost my place. Let me check. Okay, we're here. Click on some more. Oh my god, it's the real Scott the Woz in my fucking Discord. What? He's actually him? It's actually Scott the Woz in my Discord. Literally him. Oh, did this guy fix his link? He fixed his link, okay. He fixed his link, so we can take a look. This. If you want my reactions to the Tropic Thunder update, community pack, whatever, they will be at the beginning of the VOD. Okay. That will do. Here. Alright, we'll stop there. And we'll move on to this one. I mean, I've seen this before. Funny bikini on the Pyro, right? Art. See, there's potential. You know why there's potential? We have mods. We could make this work. We could make this work! Oh god. No, it's terrible. No, we don't. This should not be in the game. It's a funny joke item, no. Whoa, what the fuck is this? What am I looking at? Is this a grenade launcher? What the fuck? Holy Jesus. Yeah, it's a grenade launcher. Holy god. I mean, damn, it's really well made. It's cool, but this is not TF2. I feel like this is out of a different video game entirely. Like, you've made something really cool here, but it is not appropriate for TF2. Like, I guess if you want to make it more in alignment with TF2, the model needs some serious simplification. Needs to be way more simplified than this. Like, even like something as detailed as like the Thompson feels more appropriate for TF2. Where is this damn thing? Like, even this doesn't feel too busy, right? Compared to that, it's got so much, it's just so chunky. It's so chunky. Ah! It's got, like, you could've... Because the way the Thompson works, right? Geometrically, it's still very simple, right? So here, like, the actual shape of the weapon is simple. Like, you have a lot of larger, flatter surfaces, and then some of the details are carried by having it drawn on there. And yeah, you have, like, other smaller bits and bobs sticking out of the side. But then when I come to here, it's just so bulbous and it's like they taped together a bunch of stuff. It looks weird. Yeah, the Thompson is a basic shape with details on this and on it, and this is like a bunch of shapes just kind of mishmashed together. So, as a TF2 weapon, no, but you have made a really cool weapon for a video game, just not for TF2. No, and the Cow Mangler as well. The Cow Mangler is an even better example of this. You go to the Cow Mangler, it's the same thing. It's like the same, it's like a same basic shape with smaller details put on top of it, right? The same basic conical shape with just the little dips and like the cow nipples, whatever you want to call these, right? But then you go to this. No. Tesla Select. I mean, you achieved what you were going for. Based on the original Tesla coil, hence the wood. Oh. Okay, that's cute. I think you nailed most of this. I think there's it's one. It might be one too many things here. It's one too many things. Just because you can have 5 textures doesn't mean that they should be all 2 different of colors, right? If I put my thumb over the gray one, right? If I put my thumb over the gray one, then I like all of this a lot more. I feel like the light gray is doing this a disservice. The wood is fine, the copper is fine, the brass is fine, the darker gray is fine, but I feel like the lighter gray is a wrong choice. I feel like if these were the same color, then that would be fine. Yes, like if the light gray was the same dark gray, then I think it'd be fine. If the wires were to take over the gray, it would just be spaghetti. Oh yeah, I'm not saying the wires should take over the gray. I think the dark gray should replace the light gray. A strong to decent 7? I'm saying like a 5.5, maybe a 6. It's not quite there. It doesn't look bad. As is, I would not be offended if it was put in the game. I just feel like the light gray does a bit of a disservice to it. I would make this all the darker gray. I'll try it. Try it and see how it looks. Ritzy. I've seen this one before. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, another simple, clean war paint. It's good. Just good colors, simple wood on metal on brass. You can't go wrong. Just looks good. Blazing Beret. It's like it looks like a moon pie. It looks like a moon pie. I feel like the beret doesn't taper enough down to the side. Because when you look at, say, the Bills hat, you know. Oh, where's my Bills hat? I thought I had a Bills hat. Oh, right. See, the thing with the Bills hat is that it tapers down the side a lot more. See? It's a lot thicker on one side and it tapers down to the other. That feels more appropriate for a beret. This is all the same thickness all the way across, and it looks weird. It's like a disc on his head. I feel like it needs to taper more down to the side. Do y'all like moon pies, by the way? I feel like an appropriate episode of Slop Diaries is for me to hunt down every flavor of moon pie and then rate the flavors of moon pies. Moon pies are awesome. I've loved them since I was a kid. Moon pies are delicious. Like, if you like s'mores, you'll like moon pies. Yeah, I feel like it's appropriate to do, like, a moon pie review. The hell is a moon pie? So, a moon pie, for you non-Americans... So, a moon pie, for you non-Americans, is this delectable little pastry that you can pretty much get at any gas station. And what it is it's graham cracker and marshmallow, all dipped in a thin layer of chocolate. And it is really good. These have been around since, like, the fucking 40s. They are delicious. I've loved these since I was a kid. And they have different flavors. They have strawberry, they have banana, they have vanilla. I think there's another one. Moon pie. How many flavors are there? Flavors. Slight tangent. I want to know all the flavors. Here we go. So... Okay, so we have chocolate, vanilla, salted caramel, strawberry, and banana. I've not had the salted caramel. This is millennial treats? Wait, okay. No. They're super old, dude. Moon pies have been out for they've been around for fucking forever. Moon pie. Hold on, I want to know this. When was this made? 1917, dude. These have been around for over a century. See, I told you, it's not a millennial treat. My fucking grandma was eating these. My grandma was born in 1944. These are awesome. This hat is not so... This hat, not so much. The hat is mid, as the kids say. Is that a vest for Pyro? If it's paintable, I swear to fucking God. The giant tie is paintable. I don't think I like that. I also don't know if I like having a solid colored vest over the Pyro. I feel like when you don't have his gradient on there, it looks weird. The modeling is fine. I don't like the fact that the tie is paintable. It's too much. Why not just the band? Why didn't you just paint the tie clip? Why not have the tie clip be the paint region? Why did it have to be the entire tie? God. Like, I swear, like, there's so little thought is put into paint regions anymore. It infuriates me. It's not bad. It's not bad. I don't like the hat, though. I think the vest is fine. I don't like the hat. The hat's kind of bulbous. Holy God, what the fuck am I looking at? Is this bait? Who is this? Who is this person? Is this meant to be Sniper? What the fuck? Remember the video that I made on this channel talking about going too far with item creation? This is another example of that, where they have gone so far that this doesn't resemble a mercenary anymore. This doesn't resemble TF2 anymore. I can commend them for doing a really good job on making cosmetics for something, or designing a new video game character, but this is not Team Fortress 2 anymore. This is not TF2. Looks like a character from Paladins and Overwatch. I agree. This is like, what the fuck, dude? And the paint region is really weird. It's like these tassels? The fuck? This has to be bait. Has this guy made anything else? He's made other items. He made this. He made this item that got in the game. This guy has items in the game. What else? A lot of misses. Oh, he made this awful set. I mean, he does some decent stuff, but this is not TF2. Like, I commend it for being like a cool project, I guess, but it's just not appropriate for TF2 at all. Fighter's fatigues. Okay. $1.49 Canadian from NN. Thanks, man. Much appreciated. I like this. This is pretty good. If you're going to incorporate another texture onto a cosmetic like this, like a pattern or something, you need to make it really, really subtle. And they made the camo subtle enough where it's not an eyesore. This is good. It's a simple cosmetic, you know, adjustments to the collar, the lapels, the pockets. This is pretty clean. Pretty clean, very simple. Veterans attire without the sweater? Yeah, very much so. Veterans attire without the sweater. This hat is the set that has a rainbow flag on it? Huh? G.I. Doe. Global Offender. Oh, right, this one. Yeah. So the idea is that they have a flag for every mercenary. You know, French flag for the spy, and the Australian flag for the sniper, German flag for the medic, American flag for the soldier, so on and so forth. And then they have the rainbow for the pyro because of Pyroland. I feel like they could have done anything else other than a normal rainbow. They could have done a balloonicorn. They could have done something that is more appropriate for pyro, instead of doing something that, based on the number of comments, has very clearly started a flame war over what people are assuming is the gay pride flag. In my opinion, it's a little on the nose. In my opinion, it looks like they knew what they were doing. In my opinion, if that is what they were doing, this has no business being in the game. If this was an honest mistake, then fine. And again, they could have come up with any other idea to represent pyro in the form of a flag. They could have done something simple as like, okay, have a flag with just, you know, like a flame on it. If they wanted it to be Pyroland, they could have done, you know, like a balloonicorn or something. Or if they wanted to do a rainbow, then they could have done the same desaturated colors that you see on the weapons on, say, I don't know, the rainbow weapons, right? Where's my R? They could have done something similar to these, but to me, because they circumvented all of that for just a straight rainbow, again, it feels like they knew what they were doing. And based on all the comments and the flame wars in this, it's like... yeah. I don't know. Just, it's a shame, because it's a cool hat. It's a cool hat, all the other flags are fine. The problem is, if this gets put in the game, people are gonna fucking fight over it endlessly, and it's just gonna it's a fucking shame. They gave Heavy the USSR flag when he hates them in the lore. The thing is, that's like a retcon thing, right? That's a retcon thing they put in the comments, in the comics, because the Heavy has the Iron Curtain, which has the hammer and sickle on it. Which was in the game long before they wrote into the comics that Heavy hates the USSR. Right? Like, it's very much meant to be implied that Heavy is a Russian in the 70s, therefore he likely has ties to the USSR. So. Balloonicorn eyes would have been dope? Yeah, sure. It's not a retcon, that was from a non-canon video game. I mean, it's a weapon in the game. He also has the Soviet Union. Yeah, there's also other achievements that reference, you know, Soviet Union, Soviet this, Soviet that, right? There's a lot of other things in the game. So, well established pretty early on that his family was persecuted long before the Iron Curtain, was it? I guess I'm misremembering that. Either way, I don't know. Personally, I see nothing wrong with the hammer and sickle flag for Heavy. I think it's fine. He's this, you know, Russian, Soviet, whatever. I think that's fine. I see no problem with it. Wrong German flag. Funny. Well, this is the 70s, so is it not the right one? Honestly, the fact that this hat was already forming a war in the comments section is a red flag. No, yeah, that's my point. The fact that before this even came across my radar, that there's just this massive fucking flame war in the comments. Like, it's just... look at this fucking shit show. Look at this. Jesus Christ. And then, of course, you have all the usual workshop people saying, yes, please, very interested. Again, like, to me, this just reinforces that they knew what they were doing. When I see other people, other bigger figures from inside the Emporium all spamming the same thing, yes, please, very interested. It's like, come on. You could not be so on the nose, right? I feel, yeah, to me, it feels definitely intentional. Which is a shame, because when you try to do that, right? When you do that shit, you're kind of intentionally being divisive, and you're making people argue. We don't want that in our video games. We want people just to have fun and just, you know, fuck around, and who cares? Just shame. I've looked at this one before. I will move on. Radar, another one of Civ's war paints. This is another one I've seen before. Another really cool skin. Fucking awesome. Good shit. Think it needs to be in the game. Oh yeah, they did this as well. So, for those of you unfamiliar, what happened when they released the Tropic Crisis update? Or the Tropic Crisis thing. So here's the thing, right? Twitter doesn't matter. I don't care. Like, I'm going to acknowledge what seems like to me a very on-the-nose, intentional decision. And if that makes me a demon, if people want to start putting words in my mouth about what I believe or don't believe, then the vision of me that they've created in their heads is not my responsibility. That's not who I am. I just don't think that kind of stuff should be in the game. Period. And I will keep standing by that. And if people have a problem with it, then feel free to go whine on Twitter. But it's not going to make me change my position. I'm sorry. Anyway. Yeah, so as a result, what happened after they released the Tropic Crisis project, they made the decision to release the asset packs for this. So what they did is they said, okay, yeah, sure, now anyone can upload any item they have and then associate that with the project. And so what we have here is that garbage carry van cosmetic just re-uploaded. I think it's been retextured. Yeah, retextured, re-uploaded. And then they slapped the Tropic Crisis thing on here. You know, it's like a haha funny joke. It's just like... And they, oh yeah, and they filed a DMCA claim on themselves as a joke. Because it's the same creators, it's the same ones who made the original garbage carry van. So I don't know why they opened it up for any, and also that also kind of defeats the purpose of, say, you know, that also defeats the purpose of, say, having what was supposed to be a more tight-knit project, right? The purpose of having this curated community project is ideally you would want the best of the best. I mean, Kurt Cobain, no thanks. It shouldn't be in the game. No. Engineer Uberfix. So, if you're going to be curating a full-on project for TF2, right? Ideally, you want to have, say, the best of the best stuff, best maps, best cosmetics, what have you, with an organized group of people that are all kind of working towards the same goal. It completely undermines that idea to then open the floodgates for anyone to associate anything they've made with that project. It seems completely counterintuitive. I don't know why they made that decision. Because originally, that project, technically anyone could have joined, but they only allowed certain people in. So long as they were generally adhering to the themes and the ideas, you could basically get involved. But for example, I was omitted. I couldn't go in their workshop circles and, like, give feedback and ideas because I'm too controversial of a figure, so it was by no means a public project. But again, it completely undermines the idea of, like, okay, yeah, this is meant to be a very specifically curated thing, but fuck it, now anyone can add whatever they want. It defeats the purpose, and I don't get why they did that. Engineer Uber texture fix. I mean, sure, yeah, it fixes his textures. I don't see why this is I mean, yeah, it fixes... Is this really how it looks? I never noticed. I never noticed that that's how the Ubered engineer looks in the game. I had no idea. If that would actually fix it, yeah, sure, this is a no-brainer, fix it. Duh. Yeah, you're right. No one ever Ubers an engineer. No one ever Ubers an engineer, so we simply wouldn't know. So, yeah, obvious addition, add it. War Hero. It's part of a set? No, it's just hair. I don't know, it looks pretty good. I think it looks good. I like the glasses, I like the hair. Yeah, it's the white Russian but for soldier, except like the hair is slightly longer, it's modeled differently. I think it's pretty good. I like this. This is cool. The glasses are really nice. The glasses are really fucking cool. I think it's good. Good hair, good shit. Team Camo Warpaint. Have I seen this before? No, it's relatively new. So we have another Team Camo Warpaint. This is the updated version. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he did a previous iteration of this. That's right. And if I'm remembering correctly, they made adjustments to the red texture. This looks really good. This is pretty good. I like it. Good texture work, good colors. You got a good camo pattern. It's the right scaling, the right shapes. It's very, very well done. This is good. Like, this is what the Red Rock Roscoe pistol should have been. Yeah. You'd run this 100%? Yeah, this is good. Good, yeah, I too am a sucker for just a good camo war paint. This is really well done now. I see nothing else that needs to be changed for this. Put it in the game. Very good. Good shit. Good shit. Saw this one already. Come on. Dignified. Yeah. See, like, here we go. Another war paint that handles gold pretty well, or gold/brass. Really good. See, it's a bit of a shame to me here that they did not show any in-game screenshots. They only showed doctored Photoshop screenshots of the skin, which is super unfortunate because I would love to know how it actually looks in-game and not via false advertising, so I can't actually see what it says or see how it looks rather. So that's a shame. But based off of these idealized and photoshopped promos, it looks good. So, Invisible. I've seen this one before. Yeah. Didn't I see this? I could have sworn I looked at this one before. But what we have here is a random camo pattern and a random color placement. I think I could have sworn I looked at this on stream before. I don't remember. Anyway, no, this is cool. So it looks like what happens, yeah, it rolls a random camo texture and then it rolls a random color. This is clever. This is really cool. It's a really clever idea. And you end up getting a lot of neat mixes and matches and combinations. I think it's cool. No, oh yeah, sorry guys, there's actually no weapons here. I don't see anything. I worry about it being really ugly if you get in the middle of two camo colors. I suspect that they managed to make the gradient so that it doesn't happen. That's my guess anyway. I assume they managed to have the gradient rolls adjusted where it doesn't end up in the middle of the two. And you only end up getting solids. But maybe not. Maybe it does happen. But even then, it doesn't look bad. Doesn't seem like that anyway. I think it's good. It looks like they roll a color for... Weapon applies 2 camo layers randomly on the weapon. So there's 2 different camo layers. And then a color is randomly selected for each one. So it's 2 rolls of a texture and 2 rolls of a color. Interesting. Yeah, I like this. This is really cool. I say yes. A lot of cool combination options, a lot of cool yeah, see, look at that. It's 2 different colors, yeah. Or 2 different patterns and colors. I dig it. Oh, this is the workshop. Oh, these are all the submissions from the Warpaint server. Okay, I can go through these. I will go through these real quick. I'm going to quickly use the restroom again. I will be right back, and then I will go through the ones I have not seen in this collection. Hold on a second. Well. All right. We're back. It is 5 o'clock somewhere. Yep, that's good. It is 5 o'clock somewhere. Today, I have a Boston cream pie ale. Focus. Hang on. I have a Boston cream pie ale. It's a very interesting flavored beer. I I quite like it. A Boston Cream Pie Ale. 6.5%. Thing is, I think it's good. I like my stouts. I like my porters. I like my stronger, thicker, kind of creamier beers. I like them a lot more than I do, say, like your typical lager. I fucking hate IPAs. Fucking nasty. 6.5% alcohol. This is a beer. This is an alcoholic beverage. It is 5 o'clock somewhere. Okay, so let's look at these. Evening Pulse. See, this is better. So this is exactly what I was talking about. Yeah, this is what you want it to do. If you want to have a rainbow gradient on here, you want to split these things into 2 separate gradients. You want to have one that is red and blue. This one goes from purple to yellow, but it's almost there. If this went from like red to orange instead, then it would look a lot better, in my opinion. I think that's a better thing to do. And then they could have done a blue team version of this, where it goes from like purple to blue or purple to green or something, right? I think that would look a lot better. This is almost there. Almost there. Saw that one, saw that one, saw that one. Man Audio. I think it's meant to resemble like a record player or something. Yeah, it's okay. I like the metal texture. I like the wood. I think the sticker is bizarre. I don't like the fact that it's made off-center by the jacks. I feel like it would have been, and then it wouldn't be audio related. It wouldn't look like a speaker if they didn't put these, or like or an audio thing if the jack holes weren't in there. I don't know. It's not bad. I don't know. What do y'all think? What do you think about the sticker? The sticker should just be man and then have the jacks underneath. Yeah, I think it needs some symmetry. The asymmetrical nature of the sticker is a bit strange, yeah. You could have man here and then have this part turned 90 degrees and then underneath the word man. So. There's a fly in here. Yeah, aside from that slight tweak, it's pretty good. High Fidelity Marksman, another music-themed war paint. These are really grainy promos. Very, very grainy. Here's the problem, man. You've probably made a really good war paint, but all of your promos are doing you a disservice because your game settings are not set high enough to where I cannot tell what this is supposed to look like. Yeah, if you've made a war paint, what you need to do is, if you can't run the game on max settings, you should probably send it over to someone else to take the screenshots for you, or you can go to loadout.tf, and what you can do instead... Oh, I forgot how this worked. It wasn't Control F. It was Control B? Oh, it was Control W? Oops, that wasn't it. Hold on. I'm trying to remember. Was it Shift W? Yeah. So what you can do on loadout.tf is you can load a mercenary in, and then you can load a weapon in. So let's say you have the sniper rifle, right? So sniper, not that one. Where's just the normal fucking rifle? The fuck? SMG, maybe? Yeah, SMG. So give me the SMG, get rid of that. And say you want to put, I don't know, plaid pot shotter. What you can do is you can load in a war paint that you want to use, and then you can actually load in your own textures. And then if you go into the settings, Scene Explorer, and then turn off the sniper, and then turn off the entity, turn off that, 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 and then hit pause, you can actually make your own promos inside of loadout.tf. And then what you can do is you can simply change the textures on these weapons, and you have infinitely better promos. If your game settings can't be turned high enough to get yourself better screenshots. So I feel like I can't appropriately judge what I'm looking at, aside from the colors, because your game screenshots are too low. The quality's too low. The colors look really good. They have like a gradient thing going on. It's like a team colored gradient. It's cool. All the colors look good, but I can't really assess your texture work because the screenshot quality is rather poor. So maybe go back and adjust those. Saw that already. Firewall Breacher. Yeah, with green screen, right? So like change the color of the background to you can make it transparent on loadout.tf, and then you can have I can't talk to you. You can have a transparent PNG. So is this the same guy that did? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So. I don't know if you need the red and blue buttons. I don't know if you need them. Do yellow, we already have hazard warning. No, I don't think so. I think the yellow is fine. I think the yellow is actually a bit nicer than hazard warning. I like the brightness of it. I think it contrasts with the silver metal plates really nicely, and the normal gray texture looks good too. The only thing I don't like about this is the buttons. I feel like this is scaled down too much. I feel like if you scale this up a little bit more, that might be all you need to do, is scale this up a little bit, because the fact it's scaled down and you have a lot of these smaller details on here, it ends up being too noisy. I would scale up your primary texture a bit, and then the rest is fine. It's very strange. There's like a lot of these guys had the idea of making like an audio or radio music themed skin. So this one's based off like an old wood radio. This one is good. I like this. There you go. That sticker's really nice. There you go. It's like the power level of your music, or the power level of the audio. Yeah, this is pretty good. Wood texture looks a bit strange, but the colors are good. Color work is good. The rest of the texture work is fine. This is neat. This is pretty decent. I like this a lot. It's a clever idea. Still looks like a weapon. Good custom wear. Yeah, pretty good. I like it. I vote yes. Contest and the painters were... Oh, I didn't realize that the contest had an overarching theme. My bad. Admittedly, I don't pay as much attention as I should to what's going on in there. But okay, so the theme is retro. The theme is retro. That's why it's going on. No, yeah, so the sticker, so this is meant to be like an old radio or music box where you have like the power in decibels, right? The power level in decibels here on the side. So, I don't know, it's cool, it's clever. I dig it. Amber display, ooh, that's right, yeah, Fantac was sending me the work in progress on this. Look at this, guys. This is fucking cool. So this is reminiscent of all the amber displays you see on like 2 Fort with the spy tech. This is clever. This is really cool. That's a smart idea. That's a really smart idea. And it wears down the rust. Man, this is really good, man. This is great. Yeah, the final product on this came out really, really, really good. No, I think the sticker is great because this is like the little amber screen on there, and it's not too noisy. It's not like scrunched down too much. Like looking at it in game, look at that. That's really nice. I hope this doesn't have custom mapping. I fear it does. No, it uses Park Pigmented. We're good. This can be added to the game. This is nice. I like the rust. The rust wear is really nice. Yeah, and in game, look at that. In game, check that out. It's really good. And the higher wares, this is how you do promos. Guys, this is how you do promos. Plenty of in-game screenshots, a good neutral background to show off your skin. Yeah, I will share this one. I will share this one. This one is very good. I vote yes, and I will favorite it as well. Good work. Fantastic. Phenomenal. Striking balance. You need a team variant. You need a team variant, man. It's really good, but you gotta give me that team variant. If this was a light washed out red... Oh, he inverted it. Oh, it's weird. See, I don't like that. No, you need to have keep the gold, keep the white, but do a true team-colored version where instead of blue, you're replacing it with like a washed-out red. You have to do it. I think you have to do it. Like, it's a clever idea to simply do like the palette swap, but I think it still unfortunately has like the blue is still too present on red team, and it looks weird. See, it's still too present even on red. So I really think you need to do a team variant on this. But beyond that, this looks really, really good. This is another awesome war paint. If you didn't do the weird palette swapping thing, then I would immediately vote yes and say have this in the game. You gotta have the team variant, man. That's what I think. You gotta have it. Lava Liquidator. Oh, like a lava lamp. Okay, cool. You know what? It's not bad. You know what? It's not bad. Getting a texture with randomized elements to look good in TF2 is very hard. The thing about camo, or at least most camos, is there's at least some kind of directionality to it. Where the shapes are longer than they are wide, and they're all kind of oriented in the same way. This, not so much. This has the randomized size and orientation aspect to it. But it still kind of looks like camo. It still kind of looks like camo. I kind of like it. I don't know about y'all, I kind of like it. I don't like the flex. I don't like these little flecks. I don't think you need that. I would get rid of the noise. Or paint chips, whatever this is meant to be. I would not have that. I would just have this be a normal solid color. You don't need that. It's another random noisy element that does not help. If you're gonna have a busier texture like this with the randomized elements, you want your secondary and tertiaries to be inherently simple, so it helps balance things out. But beyond that, I think this is fine. I think it's alright. Gosima. What are they going for here? The yellow looks weird. Oh, Gauss. Is it Gauss? Yeah, I think that the yellow is one kind of flat. I see the painterly bits in there. I feel like it's too. I think it needs to be darker. I feel like if you brought it more into alignment with the shade you see on iron wood, so it's a bit darker, a bit more saturated, then I think it'd be better. The wood is fine. The darker is fine. I don't know if you need the gray. Maybe you do. Yeah, I think you need to keep the gray. I think the main problem is the yellow. The yellow is a little too washed out. I think if you want... Let me see here, ironwood. I feel like that still might be too punchy for it. Maybe even darker than this. Maybe even darker than this. I would experiment a little bit. I would just on your own time, to the guy who made this. Pull the ironwood brass texture out of there. Replace this yellow texture with that. And then kind of play around with the saturation a little bit, and maybe the hue a little bit. Maybe you can lean it more towards like the orange that you see here, so it's not like another ironwood clone. Maybe like a copper metal, perhaps? Yeah, I would experiment with your shade of yellow. Here's the problem, guys. Yes, there are many other war paints that are just like this on the workshop, but the problem is with the amount of submissions that we have on the TF2 workshop, overlap is inevitable. It's inevitable that you're going to get hats and cosmetics and unusual effects and skins and taunts that are trying to achieve the same thing. Inevitably, people are going to have similar, if not the same ideas. TF2's workshop has been running since 2012. We've had this for 14 years. We're gonna have overlap at some stage, right? So just because one warpaint on the workshop already exists and looks like this doesn't invalidate someone from trying it out themselves. And ultimately, the best of the best should be chosen, right? But it doesn't reserve that concept to that one person. People should be allowed to attempt it themselves, right? I see no problem with that. There is a difference between stealing an idea and trying out a concept for yourself, right? Yeah, I do agree. Overlap is good because it makes it more likely that you'll find something that suits your particular style. Or you'll have a wider range of artists trying the same thing, and then ultimately whoever executes it the best with the best quality, ideally, that's the one that should get in the game. At least in my opinion, that's how things should work. So, yeah, I would play with your yellow texture a bit. It kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. Speaking of copper, Pear, once again, has delivered a really cool war paint. Look at this. This is nice. Now this is awesome. Now this is pod racing. Check this shit out. This is really clean. Good shit. Unfortunately, has a custom base. So this will never get added to the game because Valve sucks. They're too lazy. They will not put in an atom's worth of work into TF2. They want copy and paste and that's it. So this will never get in the game. But goddamn me if this does not look good. This is awesome. Good shit. So yeah, I would say go show Pear more love. He just keeps making fucking awesome stuff over and over again. Venerable. I like the white, I don't like the yellow. Or rather, I like one or the other. I don't think both should be present. Is this gradient based? No, it's not. I like the plastic. I like the metal. But having them both together doesn't look very good. The yellow is the wear? Is it? Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. Or am I wrong? I can't tell. No, the wear is this brown? Or is it? Is it? Hold on, let's go through the motions here. Do we have an example of higher wear? Am I retarded? I can't see things. Is this meant to be the wear? First pick, thank you. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. So the plastic yellows instead of the wear. Hey. Okay, that's clever. I like that. Because for those of you that aren't like toy enthusiasts, do I have an example somewhere? Yeah, so if you have toys that have plastic on them and it's colored white, inevitably if you leave it out in the sun, or just by nature of age, the white plastic is going to turn yellow. I don't think I have an example in my room at the moment. I kind of don't. Shit. Oh, wait, I have Exoforce here. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. So, I don't know if you guys remember Exoforce or not. These really awesome kind of like Lego Gundam things they were releasing in like 2004, 2005. So, all of these bricks here, it still looks white on the webcam, but the problem is that they've actually yellowed quite a bit. These used to be a much more vibrant white, but just by nature of the plastic being rather old, the plastic is just going to turn yellow over time. So, Sun Guardian, very, very old Lego set that I am very proud to have completely intact. Haha, I still have this. And people wonder why I don't have a girlfriend. My autism is too strong for women. If there's a woman out there that can handle my autism, write me. But no, that's actually really clever. The plastic is yellowing. Okay, this completely changes my outlook on this war paint. I like this a lot. Very clever idea, very cool execution, nice work. Good stuff. It just confused me for a bit. She needs to be tall, she needs to be muscular, she needs to have big boobs. Listen, I'm an adult. I can differentiate fantasy from reality, okay? Like, I know what I'm getting myself into by looking at women. I think girls from transgender would like me. I have had trans women approach me before, but I'm sorry I don't swing that way. It's not my thing. If it's your thing, fine. That's just not my thing. I've also had many a men approach me, so it's like I don't swing that way. I prefer, you know, women. Bears. Have you seen that shit on like that whole thing going around on Twitter, right? That whole thing going around on Twitter where like they ask women, if you were left alone in the woods, would you rather be with a man or a bear? And like overwhelmingly, I'm like, the whole discourse surrounding it is very stupid. But like you have all of these very insulated women that don't go outside saying that they would rather be left with a bear in the woods than a random man. They've never seen a fucking bear. They don't know that the bear will fucking kill you. If you look at the bear wrong, if you cross its path and it has its babies, you are dead. It will eat you alive. Literally will eat you alive. Its claws are longer than my finger, and it will tear chunks of your flesh out of your body. And you'd rather deal with that than, say, me in the woods. I know I'm scary, but I'm not a fucking bear. Like, good God. Oh, that is some wild shit. Okay, fun story. I want to show you something. I want to see if I can find a good picture of this. Impromptu story time. Okay, here's a story time for you guys. All right, so here we go. This is a good photo. So in Big Bend National Park in West Texas, there is a trail out there called the Pine Canyon Trail. All right, so when you're in Big Bend National Park, there's a set of isolated mountains called the Chizos Mountains, and originally it was a volcanic structure. It was a volcano, and then it collapsed and created a caldera. And what's left over are the mountains, and you see them here. The mountains are highly elevated enough where they get a lot of rain and they get a lot of snow and ice. So they have water pouring off the side. And there is a trail on the back side of the mountains called the Pine Canyon Trail, where it's about a 5-mile hike that takes you all the way up from the lowlands up to the mountainside, and you can actually walk up to the waterfall that's coming down the side. It's a very beautiful hike. We go out here in the wintertime, right? We go out here in the winter. It's like December. It's like the day before New Year's. It's the day before New Year's. Viewers are dropping. Who cares? Story time. My stream. You don't like it? Fuck off. So we're out here. It's a fucking beautiful place. Absolutely beautiful, right? Here it is. Here's what it looks like, right? So this is the waterfall that you can hike to. Okay. It's awesome. So we're out here in the winter, and it's fucking cold. And it's fucking wet. And it's gray, it's misty, and it's so foggy, you can't see about maybe 50 yards in front of you. That's how foggy it is. And it's not like fog, it's that really dense, misty fog where you feel it on your face as you're walking, right? So like in terms of visibility, like here's the trail, right? You could be standing right here where my cursor is, and you could not see this tree. That's how foggy it was. But we decided to go anyway because the weather was nice, the weather was cool. We go on our way. So we hike in, we make it all the way there, and it is dead quiet. No noise, no nothing, not a centimeter per second of breeze, nothing. You could hear a pin drop out here. Like, you're walking along, the only thing you hear is your breath, your footsteps, and your heartbeat. That's how quiet it is. And so I'm with my family, we're hiking along this trail, and we make it all the way to the waterfall. We check it out, it's beautiful. We turn around and we head back. A tree that we walked by, on the way in, which was perfectly intact, mind you, on the way back, it was no longer really there. The bark was gone. It had been torn to shreds by something. And we're like, uh-oh, that's a bear. And immediately we're like, oh fuck, this is not good. There's a bear very close by. And so, for those of you that don't know, what bears like to do is they like to claw trees because it feels good on their claws or it does something for their paws, right? So bears very often claw on trees. And that was our first sign of, oh shit, there's a bear. And so we start booking it out of there. Now, we're not running, because we don't want to let it know that we're scared, right? On the way out, it's fucking following us, right? It was either a bear or a mountain lion. We're pretty sure it was a bear. It's fucking following us. We stop walking, and then we could hear a few footsteps, and then it would stop. And then we start walking, and then we'd stop, and then we hear a few footsteps, and it would stop. This motherfucker was following us out of the trail. Like, down the trail. It was probably a mountain lion, right? But we like to think it was a bear, because mountain lions don't tear up trees. And so, the fog is so dense, right? Like, I could be over here, and the tree line could be, like, there, like, out in front of me, and you could not see a thing. So that motherfucker was hiding in the fog. It knew that we could not see it. It was following the fog. It followed us all the way out until the trees started clearing. Our hearts were in our fucking throat the entire time because we were being stalked by a fucking bear or a mountain lion. Holy shit. And so we have women on the internet right now that would rather be left in the woods with that than this. Oh! We had a gun, but not a big gun. We had a gun, we didn't have a big gun, we had a pistol. And a small firearm like that would do nothing more than piss the bear off. Ugh. And I also looked at these other two, so those are the final war paints. Yes. How long have I been going? I've been going for over 3 hours now. I'll finish out these links. Antique Soldier. It looks kind of weird. I feel like they could have made the dent in the side smaller. Instead of it being like half his head just like dented in on the side. They could have done like 2 or 3 dents instead of just one big one. And then this cosmetic would have been fine. Yes. No. Garbage. Stealth Specialist with a gradient no less. Randomized stickers. The stickers look really good. Texture work looks really good. I like the lighter green. I feel the darker green might be a bit too saturated. I don't know. I like this. I think it's good. I like it. Yeah, not bad out of 10. I would say not bad out of 10. That brown sticks out too much? No, I don't think so. I think the brown is fine. I think the brown's really good. I think the problem is the green. I think the green's a bit too dark. Either too dark or too especially this green. This is a bit too sharp. Or not sharp, but too saturated. But the rest is really good. The sticker sticks out. I think the sticker is fine. The sticker looks really good. The stickers look really good. I say yes. I'm not offended by this. Pretty good. We have this in game. So close. Decent. I've said this before. This is actually a decent taunt. Like, haha, you got this close to killing me. This should be in game. I'm okay with it. Fixing airstrike rockets, fine. Why not? Yes. No, this is not a good, like, taunt effect. It's just a record PNG spinning underneath the player model. No thanks. La Familia. So we have a scarf and a rose. Only the rose is paintable? Thank you. Thank you. Only the rose is paintable. Thank you. Two styles, either team colored or black. Only the rose is paintable. Thank you. Yeah, it's not bad. I say yes. The 10th class, a decalable mask. I mean, it's a cute idea. You know my stance on decals. I think decals are great. It's one of the last remnants of the old internet. Right? It's one of the last remnants of the old internet where anything goes. Anyone can put anything they want on there. Anyone can say whatever the fuck they want. And in my opinion, that's how the internet should be. And if you don't like it, you can get the fuck out. But you know people are going to abuse this. They're gonna put fucking, like, Lord knows what on. Like, I can already see, like, a giant anime ass on this. Just slapped on Spy's face. Or, like, the Ahegao face. Yeah, that'd be good. Oh, God. There could be a lot of clever potential with this. Posted 2012, too, right? So you know this is from a very different era. Man, I'm old. Looking back 10 years ago, in 2012, I was in college. I was a freshman in college. The internet was a very different place. The internet was a very, very different place. Where it just did not fucking matter. You could say what you want, you could type what you want, you could post what you want, and no one would give a fuck. And here we are in 2024, and how different it is now, man. It is very, very different. Oh, hello, Taper Monkey. Gotta keep those ad blockers running. Fuck you, YouTube. Yeah, 2012 was 12 years ago. My bad. 2012 was 12 years ago. Oh, fuck. I'm gonna be 30, dude. Oh, man. Oh, how far we have come and fallen when it comes to the internet. 1990 was 12 years ago. Bro, I'm 30. Everything hurts now. Yeah, I feel you there. I go for a run in the morning and I just ache. I just feel pain. All right, well, I vote yes, but I mean, it's never gonna happen. The fuck? It's a fucking... There's an ancient submission that's just a weird joke, I think. Whatever. Ah, here we go. So, I was sent this by... So, Greg sent me this because he was working on it. And, man, they did a really good job on this. This is a kick-ass pyro set. This is really good. Badass helmet. Really cool, subtle changes, but still a really cool jacket. And the pants, too. It's just really, really good. Fucking Greg, dude. This guy has done a lot of amazing... He's contributed towards a lot of amazing work. He's done really good item sets for this game, man. And holy fuck. And here we have yet another one that is fucking phenomenal. So good. Also, this has the same equip region here, so this can't be abused with something like the water waders, right? So they can't do anything about this. Also, the paint region... I think is just the lapels on the collar? Or am I missing something? Am I blind? Oh, it's the belt buckle. So it's the belt buckle and the buttons. So it's all the brass elements on here. So it's the belt buckle, the buttons, and then these on the sides. You can't even see it. It's perfect. Yeah, this is a really good set. This is a really, really, like, look at the fucking, damn, just really good. They also left certain elements on the helmet not painted. So even if you do it something like lime green, it's not like a super punchy in your face. How will it look on Fempyro? Probably immaculate. Would you not want a sexy firefighter coming to save you? I know I would. Man, imagine the sexy firefighter lady that could pick up my 6'7" unconscious ass out of my smoke-filled and flame-filled home. I'd get on one knee immediately. I would make that my wife. Who would stop me? No, really good item set. Good shit. I'm gonna abuse you guys again. So here's the thing, man. If you're a firefighter, you have to be fucking strong. Another fun story. When I was in middle school, when I was an 8th grader in middle school, I was 6'3" and probably 250 pounds, roughly. I was really fat when I was a kid. So I was 6'3", 250 pounds, and every weekend, or every Friday, the school would have some kind of professional or someone with a career come and they'd like give a talk. They'd come and give a talk, and they would, you know, tell us about what they do. They'd bring in, you know, like examples of stuff they would do. Like, for example, we had a stuntman come visit us who was an Olympic skier, and he would do stunts. He did stunts in like the James Bond movies and what have you. It was really cool. Also, the YouTube chat just died for some reason. I don't know why. Hello, YouTube? What's going on? Uh-oh. I think the chat is dead. Hello? Oh, no, it's working again. Hello? Are we back? We're good? We're good. Okay, let me swap back to the live chat. See if that's still working or not. There we go. Okay, now it's working. We're back. Anyway, one day, they bring in a firefighter. They had a firefighter come and speak with us. They brought out the fire engines, they brought out everything else. And this guy was probably 5'8". He was 5'8", and we have the whole class sitting in front of him. And he says, okay, which one of you is the biggest kid in the class? And everyone immediately points to me because I'm 6'3", 250 pounds when I was 13 years old. And so I walk up to this guy, and without any amount of hesitation, he just fucking grabs me from my thighs and hoists me over his shoulder like I was nothing. Firefighters are fucking strong, dude. Because not only do they have all that heavy gear, but they gotta haul people out of burning buildings. These guys are jacked. Not to mention I commend anyone who is a firefighter, because I sure as shit I don't want that job. I don't want to be risking my life. That's scary shit, man. So, anyone who's a firefighter, you're way more brave than I am. And now if that was a woman? Sign me up! I have it here. Sign me up! Sign me up. Anyone gets that, if anyone knows who that is, you're awesome. Anyway. I haven't used that in a long time. Old fashioned, I've seen this one before, good skin. Fortress finished. Last item of the day, Fortress finished. Cool, simple, team-colored war paint. You got all the right colors, right team colors. You got the fucking TF logo on there. Not enough skins just to use the TF logo. Just use it more often. It's a very underutilized symbol, underutilized asset. Just put it on more skins. It'd be very good. Hands down. Really good skin, I vote yes. All the colors are good, texture work is phenomenal. Good stuff. Okay, I have been streaming for 3 hours and 26 minutes and 16 seconds. I feel like that's long enough. I feel like that is a satisfactory stream. My voice is tired. Am I gonna play TF2? No. I'm gonna call it here. I'm gonna call the stream here, so I'm gonna cut the recording. So goodbye to everyone on YouTube. See y'all later.